How is Ty Ladd playing against him? He's physical, huh?
He was physical, but I was a physical receiver.
Yeah, you're a big guy.
New England fans hated me because I didn't do nothing but talk. And I used to murder New England.
Yeah.
I used to murder them. That was the worst thing they could ever seen coming through the building. No, real talk. Google it. I caught Teddy Bruschi one time, right at the goal line, down in the ground, slammed down. He shot, pop out, touchdown, freebie against the Patriots. Thank you. We went up to Foxborough, beat the Pete Carroll man. Yeah, we beat them bad.
Welcome to Games with Names. I'm Julian Edelman, they're Jack and Kyler, and we are on the mission to finding the greatest game of all time. On today's episode, we are covering the 1998 AFC Divisional Round game between the Jaguars and the Jets with former #1 overall pick, longtime broadcaster, and one of the few New York Jets to join this show, Keyshawn Johnson. And we get into talking being a pro athlete in New York.
After the games, we all go to the clubs and party, and it was just a crazy thing, man.
What it's like to work with Paul Pierce.
He's like, no, I'm going all in. I'm going Celtic pride. I'm going all in.
And his best Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick stories. Played with both.
I don't know if you're 235. Look like you got walnuts in your cheeks. That's my guy, you know?
And then we do some NFL contract talk. Brock Purdy, contract talk. In this week's Chill Zone presented by Coors Light. You gotta stick around till the very end. Let's go. Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. January 10th, 1999. Giant Stadium, the Meadowlands, New Jersey.
With 20 seconds left, the Jags trail the Jets 34-24. They need a miracle.
Purnell lets it fly, but the ball is intercepted by Keyshawn Johnson. This is the madness at the Meadowlands.
I'm like, huh?
Welcome to Games with Names. We have a special guest today to go over the 1998 AFC Divisional Round game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and those New York Jets with legendary #1 pick, USC alum, Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn, in one sentence, why this game?
First of all, what's up? Thanks for having me here.
Hey.
Let's start there. Why pick this game as the game? First playoff game.
Boy, did he leave an impact.
Big time.
What were the stats?
Do it all.
120.
9
rushing
catches,
touchdown.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, interception.
Fumble recovery.
Let me make sure we get it right so we can put some shine on this. 9 catches, 121 yards, 10 rush yards, 2 touchdowns. Should have been 3. Called him down the 1-on-1. That was BS. An interception and a fumble recovery.
I got called down on the 1?
Yeah, there was one in the second
on
quarter.
that pop.
Chris Martin punched.
It was like a seam throw of some sort in the red area.
And I fell down?
Nah, you got tackled on the 1. Like you went up for the ball and like
I don't even remember.
See, that's when you know.
Now that you told me that, next time I talk about this game, so I'm gonna let them know. Say shit, I should have had 3 touchdowns.
Should have had 3.
Damn, I should have had 3.
Should have had 3.
I didn't even. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't know that. I don't remember because I really, literally have never watched the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even remember watching it back to get ready for the AFC Championship game. I don't remember watching the game. I mean, I see the highlights of the game, but not the full game.
You didn't see them very much. I'm just kind of trying to correlate probably divisional round. You take all the bad from it and you move on and you're already thinking about the next game.
You know, this was my first playoff game, but you know, I knew I could play. I'm not even worried about it. That's the least of my worry. But when you don't have a quarterback, sometimes things don't go the way you need to. But I had the hottest quarterback in the National Football League that year was Vinny Testaverde, who came in. I think it was 4 games into the season after we benched Glenn Foley. We brought in Vinny. Vinny didn't even play the entire season. And, I don't know. I just treated it like a normal game. But that's, that was just the way I always was. And it just happened to be my first playoff game.
He showed up big. Is this the greatest game of all time?
For me? Or
In general.
The Super Bowl is. Or are you talking about the game itself?
This game. Is this the greatest game of all time?
Football?
Game.
Yeah, but what does that mean, though? You're not giving me. Give me some context.
We ask everyone.
Yeah, but are you mean the game of football or the game that I played in?
We are on a mission to finding the greatest game in history.
This is it. Football.
This is it. Right here.
That's right, baby.
Let's get into it. So
it's only a few people, though, Jules, that could do this.
Not many. I don't think anyone has done that.
No, I'm talking about playing the game. I'm talking about playing the game of football. It's only a few people that want to do it. Because it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy at all. People don't understand that.
No, they think it is.
Yeah, they think it is. Like, they don't understand. It's like, nah, you don't get it.
They don't get the funnest part is playing the game. They don't understand the preparation, the practice, how hard that is.
Yeah. The practice was hard. Preparation wasn't as hard as the practice for me. Preparation was easy.
Yeah.
But because I took all the scout team reps and my first team reps, it was, I was playing maybe 3 games in a week.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why you were prepared for your first playoff game.
I'm sure.
And he balled out. That's right, baby. He balled out. What's life looking like these days, Keyshawn?
Just working, man. Working at Fox. After 18 years at ESPN, I'm over at FS1 and Fox Family and enjoying it. Been there now. This is going to be going on my 3rd year in September. So,
yeah.
I'm just ready to go, fired up, ready to just do my damn thing.
Take Central. Just take Central by Keyshawn, huh?
Why not?
Why not? So what's the difference between Fox and ESPN? Give me some lowdown. I was at CBS, now I'm at Fox.
No, the difference is, one, you're at a mom and pop operation at Fox.
Yeah.
I see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big boys, upstairs people. I see them every day. Where at ESPN...
Suits. A lot of suits.
A lot of suits. But at ESPN, such a massive deal, you might see the suits once every blue moon. I mean, it's just the reality of it. And I may run into certain talent once every blue moon, where at Fox, I'm seeing the same people all the time. It's just a different operation, really corporate. Here, you get to be yourself. You get to do your thing. You get to they let you do you, where ESPN is Disney. So everything is safe, super safe.
Yeah.
It's just overall a better suit for me right now in my career where I'm at Fox than, let's say, at ESPN, the traveling back and forward. I was there 18 years.
Yeah.
And so my first 10 years, I did NFL Sunday and Monday Night Countdown, was the #1 show in all the pregame shows. Did it for 10 years with Boomer and TJ and Chris Carter and Mike Ditka. And then I left it, and then I started doing the radio here locally. Then at the same time, simultaneously, I was doing NFL Live and Sports Center and all that. And then I switched during the height of the pandemic to going and doing the national radio and First Take and NFL Live. But I had to move to the East Coast in New York for like a year and a half because they wanted me to do it. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. No, I want to. Yeah, I think we might want to do that.
Yeah.
But then we decided to do it. Then my kids get back there, and within a year, they're like, we want to go home. So then I go move them back, and then I just 2 weeks there, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks here. And then eventually they decided, hey, man, we giving you all this money. We need some of that back for tax purposes. So they, at the time that they let me go in 2023, they cleaned about, I think it was like $5 billion on their books. They wiped out Disney. So anybody that had contracts, they just ate the contracts and wrote them off that year, fiscal year, but they had to pay. So they wind up cashing you out and, go ahead. If you want to work, you can work. If you don't, sit on your buns, whatever you want to do. And Fox came a-calling, and then I've been here ever since.
Heck yeah. They had to make room for all that money to give to McAfee.
That's what it sound like. It sound that way, but I don't necessarily. I think they could have still did the McAfee thing, but it's more about, as you know, in the world of Wall Street, diluting something to make it go back up, and that was a stock play. It was a Wall Street play, which is fine. I'm happy with it. Right, I'm good. I ain't got no complaints.
Not a stock guy, but I will take some advice from you any day. small mom and pop spot, Fox, right?
Yeah.
You're running into everyone. You see talent all the time. You see joy. How many times do you argue with LaShawn McCoy in the green room? Because I do it about 14, 15 times a day if I see him.
We have text conversations. We have more text conversations, but because he's early in the morning, I'm later in the afternoon. By the time I'm there, he's gone. But if I happen to be there anytime he's there, same deal. Same deal.
I can't get up the stairwell without arguing about something.
He tried to at the Super Bowl. He came on my podcast and he was trying to tell me, receivers don't block, they don't do this, they don't do that. I said, man, I don't know who you play with. I said, I can cuss, right?
Yeah, all day.
Say, I don't know who the fuck you played with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us a little more.
You got me fucked up. So the internet, the internet went crazy. Oh, he checking McCoy, whatever. And I was like, you don't get it. I know you don't get it. I wasn't blocking DBs and I wasn't just cracking ends. Not only was I blocking DBs and cracking ends, I was taking linebackers to the trash cans. You don't get, you ain't doing it. So then we had to go get the clips and put them in and blast him. And then, but that's LaShawn. No?
Hey, Shady, we love you.
And I tell him all the time, I'll see the show. I was like, man, that's a bad uniform you got on. You look about 150 pounds overweight, buddy. You might want to, he goes, man, I'm going to the treadmill right now. I'm good because you got me going. Then he goes to the gym, gets on the treadmill.
Fox?
No, wherever he's at. I don't know where he's at.
I think he goes to the gym in Fox,
and he gets on there and he'll send me the clip, letting me know that he's working out. I'm like, you still look pudgy. I don't understand how you can look slim one day and then you look like you gained 100 pounds the next day.
It's running backs always gain, linemen always lose.
Yeah.
It's just, that's how it goes.
And then I told him, I told jokingly, I said, man, that hairline, you just gonna take that off.
Oh.
You're gonna take it off.
You can't get at a man's hairline.
No, because he got the half moon going.
He got the Jerry Rice on the Raiders. Remember the dread started back here?
We just had that conversation about Jerry today, matter of fact.
Oh, no.
We had that
and
conversation.
I love Jerry.
No, we had I told Jerry the year we beat them in the Super Bowl, we hung out like on a Monday or whatever day we got there. And I was like, Jerry, what you doing, man? Like, come on, man. Hey, man, come on, Key. I'm like, Jerry, you're 50. You just let it go. Just stop because it was extensions.
Yeah.
It wasn't just his hair. It was extensions to it. Yeah, just, come on, Jerry. Oh, Jerry.
He looked like a lion with a mane. I love it. I was a big Jerry fan. Dude, but I mean, you got a hairline like you could say anything.
No,
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm straight.
Now, did Paul make it?
Yeah,
Paul Pierce made it.
He
Lost
made
the
it.
bet.
He made it.
Was
today.
he barefoot?
No, he wore shoes.
Okay,
so what
thank
happened?
God.
So what happened? This is how it all happened, right? In January, at the end of the NFL season, the Jets was looking for a quarterback. I mean, they're looking for a head coach. My bad. They're looking for a head coach, and so I was on the air, and because I have I think like the people that I've been around, right? It's a natural thing. I think like Sean Payton. I think like Bill Parcells. I think like Belichick because I've been around them. I get them. I understand how they gonna operate and move, right? So I go on the show and they like, who's gonna be the new head coach of the Jets? I said, I don't know. But I kind of figured it was AG name was coming up, this, that, and the other. So I said, I can promise y'all if Aaron Glenn get the job, Brett Favre ain't gonna be at the quarterback. If Brett Favre is the quarterback,
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I'm sorry, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
same shit.
Same career.
Same shit,
Same
right?
shit.
Aaron Rodgers. I said, if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, Jules, I say, opening day of 2025, I will walk from my home in Calabasas to the studio. But I'm smart enough to know my guy, and Aaron Glenn gets the job. Now, people think I got something from, he hadn't gotten a job at this point when I said it.
You know him.
I know him, and I know what I would have done as the head coach, and I know what Parcells, and I know Sean Payton. Like, I know what they would do to that type of personality.
Too much distraction.
All the above, right? So I said to him, I would walk home. And they like, walk to the studio. They're like, you crazy, Noah. And they all like, watch you be the starter. I said, it's not gonna happen. A couple weeks later, they cut him. So I didn't have to walk. So now Paul last night says on the show, I didn't prompt him to doing it. People are blaming me based on what I did tell you.
On Speak the night before the second game of the Celtics-Knicks series.
Yes, he says, if we're not going to lose 2 in a row, if we lose 2 in a row, I'm walking from home. Now, Paul lives by me. And I'm walking to the studio. Paul lives by me. I'm like, you might not want to do that, Paul. He's like, no, I'm going all in. I'm going Celtic pride. I'm going all in. I said, man, you might want to take the series, not one game. No, I'm taking one game. I said, okay, cool.
If the Celtics lose game 2 at home, I promise you, I'm walking here tomorrow. I'm walking here.
Why you gotta do that?
I'm walking here 15 miles.
So it happened is that we got to that fourth quarter and that 20-point lead started shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. We texting on the group. I'm like, man, you might want to think about start lacing them up. You know, and it just kept going.
What's Paul saying? Is he silent?
He like, nah, we all right. Then all of a sudden, he like, man, I'm in trouble. And he like, oh, shit, man, this is bad. It happened, and the social media world went on fire. They went crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And he had to pay it off. He had to pay it off, and so he started paying it off at 5, but he made it to the show today, and we did the basic show was Boston Celtics Paul.
I can't believe this. Celtics got me out here like this, dog.
I tried to tell him not to do it, but he was hard-headed, didn't want to listen.
We made it! We made it!
There he is. Man of his word.
Oh, man, we're going to bounce back. We're going to bounce back.
Oh, my God.
Took over the internet.
You went and saw him on the walk?
I saw him on the walk twice. I saw him once closer to the house. Then I went and got a haircut, got my hair cut up.
He's 2 hours later.
So, no, it might have been 3.5, 4 hours later. And then I caught him up in Bel Air, walking down Sepulveda. Caught him, gave him some water. But then KG caught him earlier. And I think, who else caught him? Matt Barnes caught him. And then a bunch of other people caught him. It was the funniest thing ever. He's got his robe on, shoes. And he came into the studio drenched.
Oh, it's
shower.
It got hot today.
Yeah,
it got hot.
It was
especially
funny.
when you're going over that mountain.
Yeah, it was funny.
That sun, man. Paul's funny. Get in trouble with Paul.
A man of his word.
He's a man of his word, though.
Yeah.
Are you worried about these Celtics?
I'm
worried.
Not yet.
I'm still. You still got
one more.
Yeah.
Saturday, then I'll start worrying. One more. If they lose Saturday, then I'm worried. Right now, 0-2, 20-point leads in 2 games.
They're better on the road.
Better on the road. Best record, regular season on the road. But, you know, they squandered 2 straight 20-point.
20?
Yeah. That's hard to do.
It's not now, though. I feel like nowadays it's not. It's crazy.
It really isn't, but back-to-back is hard to do.
Back-to-back.
It's hard to do.
Basketball, man, it's
A game of runs.
different now. But I like that they're letting them play. They're letting them play right now.
Because it's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
Yeah, playoff basketball.
That's the sound of chill right there. You know how summer gets. Plans flying, people everywhere. Someone always forgetting the sunscreen or lighting the grill like it's their first time. And let me tell you, nothing tests my patience like a backyard barbecue that gets rained out right when the burgers are looking perfect. No problem, though. We move the party inside, toss those burgers on a skillet, destroy some jokers at pool, and crack open a mountain cold Coors Light. When those mountains on that can turn blue, that's the green light to kick back and enjoy it. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so the finish is smooth every single time. Make the most of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado beer. Let's jump into a segment where we go back into time around where the game took place. This game took place January 10th, 1999. This will be fun. And go over pop culture. Number 1 movie, Patch Adams. Which one was that?
That was Robin Williams, remember?
Oh,
The Doctor.
all right.
Doctor,
Yeah. Have you ever, by Brandy, I remember Brandy, she had the braids. She was cutie. I loved Brandy, honestly. Do you remember Brandy? You know Brandy.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was
100%.
what around this pop culture, Sopranos premieres on HBO, Family Guy on Fox, Varsity Blues, Tweeter, You Got Mail, and A Bug's Life, Shakespeare in Love, all popping off in the
Not
box
a one I've
office.
seen and never really watched The Sopranos.
Dang.
What about Varsity Blues? No Varsity Blues?
Nah. Football movie.
It's football Texas movie too. We're California.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, football
It's
Texas.
different. It's different.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So what's it like growing up around here and then going to SC?
Well, I didn't grow up around here, but yes, Los Angeles.
in LA.
Although I did go to Pacific Palisades for 1 year. It's just, the hometown hero, I guess, if what you want to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up literally across the street from the university.
That's fucking awesome.
So I originally wasn't going to go to USC. I originally was going to Miami. And then Dennis Erickson left. Then I switched to Washington. And then DJ retired and they went on probation.
Yeah.
And then John Robinson came back to USC. And I was like, I'm staying home. Because Larry Smith was the coach at the time. And he really didn't recruit inner city kids from LA. He was a big suburban guy. Prior to that, USC was heavy inner city. That's when we was balling and doing everything. And he came and he wanted to go to Arizona or somewhere in the suburbs, and it just wasn't the same type of athlete.
Yeah.
And people from here, that's when Washington, Colorado, Nebraska, Cal all started. Washington State, they all became powerhouses for a couple of years because they were recruiting here in this base. And so when JR got the job, John Robinson got fired from the Rams and came back to USC, it wasn't nothing else to talk about. But it's just, you just know the neighborhood, you know everything. I can tell you one thing, I didn't starve to death because family's here. I can go right up the road, get something to eat. I didn't have to worry about those things. It was just, childhood dream of always wanting to go to USC. Grew up literally across the street from them. Did you play baseball?
I did.
You know who Mark McGuire is?
You
You know who Randy Johnson is?
Oh, yeah.
I know those guys.
You've never met anybody that has pitched BP to Mark McGuire, caught Randy Johnson, and warmed up Jack Del Rio till you met me as a kid.
Whoa.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Hell yeah.
That's crazy, yeah. Because
So as a kid,
as a teenage kid, and not even, I was early teens, like 11, 12. So we across the street, grew up across the street from USC. So USC at the time was a pretty open campus. You could just come and go as you please. And so we was the Rack Pack. It was a bunch of us. So you should just go and hang out after school and look at Marcus Allen and just see all of these guys running around, Ronnie Lott and the whole deal. And, you became part of the university and the campus, believe it or not.
Local kids.
Yeah, local kids.
You
or whatever.
local kids.
So you know all of them. And like my mom managed the apartment building that a bunch of SC players lived in and we lived in. So back in this day, you could manage an apartment building, you get free rent, and you just manage it. And that's what my mom did. And
smart lady.
and so now all of a sudden you meet these guys and you go into the games and you being a part of their culture and their whole deal. Yeah, I pitched BP to them, warmed them up, did the whole shit's crazy. I tell that story to people all the time.
How's your BP throw?
I was fine. They was knocking them out the park, I'm sure. It was
You're
like
probably a big ass little kid though, weren't you?
Skinny.
But tall.
Tall, skinny kid, yeah.
I mean, geez.
But
That's-
BP, normal BP.
I know, but still.
Can you caught for Randy Johnson? Too?
Randy Johnson?
Yeah, the big unit.
The big
You know he's a photographer for the NFL sidelines now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's taking like
Griffey,
pro
too.
shots.
And warmed up Jack Del Rio. That's crazy,
That
right?
is
Hell
insane.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just saying.
Oh my god.
What was Keyshawn Johnson like in 1999, rookie year?
No, not 99, rookie year, third year. 96.
96,
First playoff, 96. What was I like then?
First playoff game.
Shit, I was him. I mean, what you mean?
Him?
Timothy.
99. Shit, I was living in New York. I was coming off, it depends on 98, 90. So I was coming off my first Pro Bowl. My second Pro Bowl. I was coming off my second Pro Bowl. I was toast of the town.
Where in New York were you living?
So I was living in Long Island because we were in Long Island practicing. So I was living in Long Island, but I also had a apartment on Park Avenue as well. So
Hey, when you're the number one pick,
you
got two homes.
Park Avenue, baby.
yeah, and I had just,
That's just for Saturdays.
I was kind of married, but I was married at the time.
Early married.
I was kind of married. I hate to say it, but Probably love my kids, great kids, the whole deal, got a good deal out of that. Probably should have been married. Probably got married a little too early,
22 with a lot of money.
Yeah, living in New York, probably a little too early. But that's what I was doing. I was in the middle of pop culture, like you said, middle of everything that was going on, the East Coast, West Coast, rap wars. I was in, seeing people that was out there, not to be named, but having some fun.
New York in that time had to be really fun.
That scene had to be crazy.
That's insane. I love New York. New York's a fun city.
Same, bro.
But see, we was good though then. Good to the point where they had been so bad that everything was a plus from there anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like you think about it, I was 1-15 as a rookie. Prior to that, they were 2-14. That's how they got me.
Yeah.
Then we went 1-15. Bill came, and the next year we was an AFC Championship game. So it's kind of like same
1
team.
year?
Yeah, 1 year.
What was the difference?
Coaching. Dude, if
Parcells.
if you knew the fucking coach's Richie Kotite I had, like it was, you'd literally jump off a building.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the worst, because I was coming from USC. And so coming from USC, Toast of the Town program, Rose Bowls, Cotton, like we was the shit, winning, like we was winning. And I go to a program, our head coach was a guy named Richie Kotite. How he got the job, I have no idea, because he just got fired from Philadelphia because he was bad. You get fired because you're bad.
Jets like to do that. They hire or fire coaches.
Literally.
Literally, this is not the first time.
And they hires Richie Kotite. The funniest thing ever, though, is I'm just watching the culture of the building. So we had practice one day, and our head coach, you know how they have a couple fields, a field over here, field over here, field over here. He's off to one of the far fields while we're practicing. He's got the brick cell phone. He's just chilling while we're practicing on his phone, smoking his cigar. There's no, I don't know who the hell he's talking to.
Yeah.
But this was a everyday occurrence. This was something that was going on. Crazy, right?
That's crazy.
It was the wildest thing I ever seen, man. I was just like, this ain't,
This is not what you expect when you get to the
my
NFL.
rookie year, literally, we did whatever we wanted to do, when we wanted to do it, how we wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying?
You won at 15.
And we won at 15. and so at that point, for me, I really didn't care. At 1 and 15, I was like, these dudes gonna get fired anyway. So we're actually playing the New England Patriots one game, and it's TNT at night. And I, along with a couple other veteran players, we go to the Foxy Lady in Providence, Rhode Island.
Legendary spot.
Providence.
Right?
I've heard of that establishment.
But we're staying there. We go there on a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday because we played on a Sunday night. Saturday we go there, and we leave after bed check, but we walk right out the front fucking door.
Oh my God.
We don't go to side doors. We don't do anything. So now we are sitting at the Foxy Lady. Obviously, there's no clocks. It's like Vegas, and we're just being young kids that don't know any better or whatever. We go back. The bus is getting ready to get ready for the game by the time we get back to the hotel. We done missed a pregame meal, the early meeting.
It was a meeting.
We done missed all that, right? So we go back in. They come to my room. I'm trying to get dressed. They come to my room. Like, what? I was like, man, I was in here asleep. And I overslept. You overslept this long? I said, yeah, man, shit, I was tired, whatever, the whole deal. And they're like, no, the security said he seen y'all leave, and da-da-da. And so it was like they was getting ready to send me back. But then I'm like, if y'all send me back and it didn't go the way y'all say it went, y'all gonna be in trouble, not me. And then they said, hey, okay, he could stay. And I wound up playing the New England game that night. I did okay. It was in '96. Check it out.
Was
see what it is.
Coach Parcells' first game back in New
I
England?
wouldn't do that with Bill. No.
Okay.
No.
That was before. Okay.
No. Because I knew they were getting ready to fire the other coach.
Gotcha.
I already knew that.
Gotcha.
I'm like, they're getting ready to fire his
They're
ass.
about to fire a coach. Parcells comes in day one. Is it just completely different?
Oh my God. He fired the dude at the front gate that was a security guard named Harry. Harry had been like the security guard for like however many years, older guy. Bill got rid of him immediately. And so one of our linebackers named Bobby Houston was our starting linebacker. Had started for the Jets, 4 or 5 years in a row. Solid linebacker, like really good. He told him if he wasn't at off-season conditioning, he was going to get rid of him. Dude didn't come to off-season condition. Never played again in the National Football League. Cut him. Never played again in the National Football League. So
It's mafia. Those coaches are mafias.
He started the OTAs. It used to be you had to get 40 days over like I want to say maybe a 2.5 month period of time. You had to get 40 days in. And it was like you go a week, maybe 2 weeks, you're off, then you come back a week, maybe off a week, that sort of deal. And so when he came, obviously, I was one of the targets, right?
Oh,
I was one of the targets. So he calls my agent, we need him to do this, that. And so I'm like, let's paying no fuck it with all that shit, man. And so now my agent go, well, he said if you don't come, da-da-da. I said, man, well, shit, man, I want to be at home with my family. I can do the same thing here. He goes, you tell him, this is how he talks. He goes, you tell him, if he's not here on this such and such date, it'd be the worst mistake he ever made. So I go, right? So now at this point, I'm probably a little overweight. I'm probably 225-ish, somewhere in there. He goes, I sit down in this room. I go in there. I'm in his room. He's got a dark room. He's got one little light on, like mafia, like you just said. He's sitting there and we're talking. He goes, how much did you weigh? I said, shit, I think I'm about 225-ish. He goes, what was that guy in the Rose Bowl? I said, I think I was probably 210 maybe. He goes, that's the guy I want. I said, okay, cool, no problem. So now I go home. I come back, go through the whole offseason conditioning. I'm 208, right? So I'm looking crazy to him. I'm fucking, So now all of a sudden, that's all I needed. I'm a made man now. For the rest of my life, he got me for the rest of my life because I did everything he asked me to do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. He asked me to do something for him. I did it like that. And now you could say one bad word about me in front of him, you're gonna catch hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I changed like that. And like after my first year with him in 97, although I'm on a rookie contract, he tried to rip my contract up, but the management council with the NFL wouldn't allow it. We did the deal. He was getting ready to make me at that time in 97. I hadn't even done shit. I had fucking 65 catches. So he was going to make me one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL at the time. We did the deal and everything. They sent it to the management council. The management council didn't want to set a precedent, so they didn't approve it. That's how our trust and our loyalty became a bond like it is now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you gained Parcells' trust through cutting your weight.
Yeah.
And then from that day on, because you did
even to this day, I just talked to him the other day. He goes, what's the number? I said, shit, man, I don't know. I'm probably 235 or something. I just slim it down a little bit. He goes, yeah, you look good, but I don't know if you're 235. You look like you got walnuts in your cheeks. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I'm good, coach. I ain't really, He said, well, you're doing good, son. You just keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm proud of you. Because that's my guy.
Yeah, that's kind of, when I say it all the time, when you're around a guy for a long time that changes you, like I was around Belichick, it becomes like a fatherly figure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To you.
100%.
Even though we didn't have that kind of relationship.
See, I had a crazy relationship with Parcells.
See,
I was the teacher's pet.
Now, how was Bill when you were there?
He was cool, but he wasn't the boss.
He wasn't the boss.
But he was the boss. But he wasn't the boss. He was the boss on one side of the ball.
He was the boss on the other side.
On the side of the ball. And so I used to take reps on both sides of the ball, right? So because of the scout team, I would go on defense and play safety and do some stuff there. As you notice, I got an interception in the game.
That's right.
So,
and a fumble return.
But he was cool. Like I used to go to the Met games with Belichick.
Yeah.
Belichick was cool. He just was Belichick.
He wasn't the boss yet.
He wasn't the boss. But the crazy shit is, this is how I knew, like when y'all really start getting down and winning and doing the whole, or even before you, that I knew him as a head coach was good. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, whether he cheated, didn't cheat, Arab gate, no gate, whatever.
Yeah.
I knew he was good based on preparation. So I was a safety in the 2-minute drill, which on the back end, so let's call it the 1 minute. we would go every Friday. Every Friday after we do our walkthrough or whatever, situational walkthrough, I would have to meet with him. Just me and him one-on-one. I'm probably watching cut-ups from 20 years ago, that offensive coordinator. I don't care. Those dudes are dead now. But you got me literally watching the same thing. Look, it's a 3-by-1, and here's what they're going to do. This is like 6-year-old video. This isn't 4-game video. Then we get, and I'm with him literally probably an hour and a half watching 4 plays because it was so attention to detail. But I wind up getting interceptions, and because of that, I started knowing where I should be, all that sort of stuff. That's how I knew he was good as a coach.
And what another thing that he does well, I think, he can take complex shit and simplify it for an athlete.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can give you a key. Hey, just worry about these 3 things.
Yeah.
If you get burnt on something else, it's my fault.
You're not going to, what he used to tell me, he said, I don't give a shit where you go or whatever. If I ever play against you, you're never going to catch a pass. We're going to double 19. That's it. I don't care.
Did he do that when he left?
No, because I only played New England one time in the preseason. And I might have had 1 catch and it was whatever, and I got out the game. We never got a chance to play against New England when I was playing.
Brian Flores used to say that to me when he was our DC. Then he went to Miami. He literally doubled me every fucking play. I had 1 catch that whole game.
But when I did play against the Jets, which is a carryover with Al Groh and them, and that Belichick had left, but Al Groh was still there, and that was all part of the same team.
He
1 catch, 1 yard when we played in Tampa. Game 4 or 5 of that season, I had 1 catch, 1 yard, and it was a fucking shovel pass. Everywhere I went, Brian Cox lined up over me, Aaron Glenn was over the top of him, or Marcus Coleman was on me, and Aaron Glenn was over the top of him with Victor Green over him. It was like, dude, seriously, like, come on, let me breathe.
Yeah.
Like 1 catch, 1 yard.
I remember.
Worst game? It might not be the worst game I ever had, because I had the one in Buffalo where I had 9 attempts, 1 catch, the ball stuck to my face my rookie year because it was so cold.
Dude, I remember that exact same thing too. And ours was a week 17 game. I wasn't even supposed to play because I was a little banged up, and we were already thinking we were going to win this game and clinch the
playoff
the
spot
bye.
and whatever.
Halfway through the second quarter, like, Edelman get in. I'm like, oh, fuck. Everybody said, I'm getting gloved up and shit, hit by everyone, contact every play, guy over here, guy, it's the same shit.
But Parcells was a guy, man, he just got it. He knew what time it was, you know what I'm saying? He was the reason one of the main reasons I retired when I did, because I left probably 5 years on the table. But like he told me, you look at the assembly line, the guys that you came in the league with, they're getting off. And there's new guys like, for instance, Julian Edelman that's getting on.
Young ones.
What are you doing? You already won a championship. You've made tons of money. Like, what are you chasing?
Yeah.
And that told me, it says, okay, all right, that makes a lot of sense. What am I chasing? Let me go ahead and go into TV. That's why I went to ESPN, because him and I went to ESPN together. Then he left. The next year, he left and went to Miami to become the president of the team. And him and I talked about me becoming the general manager, but it would be economic suicide based on TV. And I wouldn't have been the first black general manager. So it was kind of like, I said, man, you know what? I'm going to stay in TV. I'm good. Because he wanted me to come back and play and play along with Ted Ginn Jr. and all these dudes, and also be part of the front office. And I was like, I went down, did the visit, did the whole thing. And I just said, nah, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to stay in TV. I think I'm gonna be all right.
It's nice when you wake up after work and you're not hurt, you're not sore.
Yeah.
Because the older you get, regardless of anyone wants to say how freak of a, when you're 33 years old, 34 years old, that Monday hurts.
But see, I get bored fast.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't even the injuries, because I've never really been injured. Right.
Yeah.
It was just being bored, sitting there listening to them talk to him about bunch right 200. Jet smoke. I don't want to fucking hear that. I know what that is.
Same shit.
I don't want to look there, and I don't need that. Talk to him.
Yeah.
But you're talking to me. I got to sit in the room. I don't want to do that. Let me just rest.
That's what Randy Moss used to say.
Yeah, I don't need to
Randy
do that
used
shit.
to say, Chatty-O, these fucking meetings are going to retire me.
It's like the worst thing.
I mean, when you played in the league a long time, there's only so much shit you can learn.
How much am I going to see? Oh, he's got inside leverage. Here's what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do.
How many times the offensive line coach going to yell inside out?
Inside out. Yep.
How many times we can hear that? Inside out. Hip to hip on a fucking double team. I'm not even a lineman. I know that because I heard it so much.
Yeah.
Hip to hip.
Hip to hip inside. Get up on the second level. Scraping over the top. Make sure you stay inside out. Don't let him force you. Like, man, I don't know. Talk to him.
It's a lot, though.
It is. It really is.
People don't realize that about pro football. It's like you're in school. You only practice 2 hours. You're only outside for 2 hours. Everything else is fucking preparation. There's all the eggs in one basket. You only have 17 games. So these coaches, they're fucking crazy and they prepare for everything.
I used to tell Bill, because we lit, and y'all may have did it in New England, I don't know, but we would practice on fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
Or practice on Thanksgiving. And
we wouldn't have meetings after. That was the nice thing.
No, but dude, we want to go home. We have families. Just because you don't, I tell Bill, I said, just because you don't want to be home with your wife don't mean I don't want to be home with my family. Like, seriously.
What does Bill say to you?
Oh, you just worry about Thai law, some shit like that. Something like that. You just worry about Thai law. You got the Thai law flu this week. I know, because at one time I did play against New England. I had like 100 and, I don't know, it was probably like 104, 105. I was fucked up. I was toe up. And, the media, blah, blah, blah. Keyshawn in practice, he got the Thai law flu. The fuck, I'm getting ready to die. What are you talking about?
How is Ty Law playing against him? He's physical, huh?
He was physical, but I was a physical receiver.
Yeah, you're a big guy.
It was great. New England fans hated me because I didn't do nothing but talk shit, and I used to murder New England.
Yeah.
I used to murder them. That was the worst thing they could ever seen coming through the building. No, real talk. Google it. Ty was like one of my good friends that probably shouldn't have been a good friend being an opponent.
Yeah.
So one time I run a jab 144 X post, play action, boom. So I sell the out to back to the post, boom, he hits me, he tackles me, but he helps me up. In the fucking New England, I said something about you plug and play, and your dad and everybody went crazy. What the fuck's going on? What the fuck? I didn't do anything. I just said he's a nice receiver, the best one that they've had, plug and play. But anyway, the whole, whatever that radio station is up there, they went crazy. So Ty Law, Ty Law helps me. And the people went crazy. Oh, he's kicking your ass. Because we beat him and whatever. It's like, he's kicking your ass and you're helping him up off the fucking ground. This is not, New England football. Like, dude, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, I helped him up. He's a friend of mine. We played in Pro Bowls together. We were Pro Bowl MVPs together. Like, stop. But it's just a crazy thing. But he was real, he was physical and good, though. He was one of the better, obviously he's a Hall of Famer, but he was one of, different when y'all played than when we played. Even though you caught us on the tail end of our careers, the cornerbacks, in my opinion, were way better when I was playing than they are like now, because it was true travel, man-to-man corners. Yeah, it was just nowadays.
It's zone.
You get one guy who's really good at the corner, but you got three receivers. Got to pick a receiver. Where then it was three corners. Three receivers. It was three corners that could just go. Yeah. No matter what. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree a little bit with that. There was a lot more man.
It's way more man.
So, there's only, in my generation, the only really guy that did it was Revis.
Revis probably did it.
Revis is the only guy that would follow.
That travel, yeah.
He would follow guys.
Because, see, you called Ty at the end.
Yeah, but that was old Ty.
And that's what I'm saying. You called him Champ at the Bailey. Champ Bailey was older.
He was older.
Yeah.
But the game also changed because the rules, 1, 2, a lot of these people went to this, we call it the Seattle Six, which is like a match zone where these corners, they had like the Sherman defense. Yeah. Where they have these long ass corners where they play off and they play with their eyes in the backfield so they can break because they have help everywhere.
It ain't really man to man.
It's not really man, but it's like a man match.
Yeah.
So the game kind of changed. No one's hitting anyone anymore. It's different. I would agree with that.
Ty would feel, though.
Yeah.
Champ would feel. All them dudes would feel. But them back in them days, though, and I hate to say back in the days because it sounds like it's like 55 years ago. But I remember we were playing Kansas City. Kansas City was one of my worst outputs too. They got 3 corners. They had this guy named Dale Carter, who could have been the best corner ever in the history, but he just was Dale.
Yeah.
And then they had James Hastings. Hastings was as big as me. And then they had a guy named Mighty Mouse that was probably half your size.
But physical and quick?
No, he just was quick. He was
quick.
So when I broke the huddle, so all week long, we're game planning for me to get Dale Carter because Dale Carter was long. He was 6'2", and he was, a freak of nature and athletic and the whole deal. All week long, we thinking we getting Dale Carter. So when we go to Kansas City, we break the huddle first, and I look, and Hastings is going with me. I'm like, fuck. I'm sitting there, I'm going, fuck, this is getting ready to be ugly.
Yeah.
Because he was so big and strong and physical and good. He was good.
Brandon Browner.
He was so good. I was over there chicken fight, man. I got so frustrated in the game that I caused a pick 6 that damn near cost us the game because I couldn't get open.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. It was raining. I couldn't get open. So we in a 3-by, I think it was empty left. That's right. It was empty left 74 shout tosser, a 75
what
shout tosser.
What are you, the X?
I was in the 3x2. I was the middle guy. So we went 1-2. I was the middle guy. I don't remember who was on the outside.
Out that chills versus 2.
So what I did is
you shout? You're in the shout?
Yeah, I'm on the tosser side.
Oh, so you have a slant.
I got a slant. So slant, boom, shout. So now Chrebet was Chrebet the third guy?
He's probably the 3 slot running the 10-yard shout route. 10-yard.
No, he was over there with us he was on the slant side.
Oh, so.
But what I did is I crossed face in front.
Yeah.
Instead of going, no.
You went behind.
I went behind
and then in front.
instead in front.
You got to always go in front.
I went behind. Because that's the first time and the last time that's ever happened. The first time and the last time Vinny Testaverde dog cussed me.
Yeah.
Pick 6 going the other way. We damn near lose the game. But I couldn't get open.
Yeah.
I fucking go behind. Donnie Edwards falls off of Chrebet. Is what happened. And then he fell off of Chrebet, pick 6 the other way. And when it happened, I just was like, holy fuck, I just lost the game.
Yeah.
Dog cussed me. You fucked up, did it? I never did it again.
Yeah.
Never had that issue again. But football's fun,
Dude, you always remember your first dog cuss on the tosser and not getting across the face.
Because I was always the outside guy.
Yeah.
The last guy. I was the third guy.
Well, they were probably trying to get you
They were trying.
You're decoying.
Many times I've been decoyed. So yeah.
Because if you're crossing face, they're trying to open up that backside.
Everybody cross behind. And I don't know what made me go behind.
You know how many times we ran? I mean, it's so funny to hear shout tosser. That's our offense too.
Yeah, shout tosser.
It comes from Charlie Weiss.
75 shout tosser, empty right, semis, 82 semi, 83 semi.
We called it seam.
35 ride, 35 base, 34 base, all the same
34,
shit.
and then 134 would be the
play action. Yeah, 134.
Max protect,
134 X curl.
Yeah, so you'd have a 2-man route concept, maybe one if it's
same offense.
2X or double tight X. We used to call it New York. It was like our 13 personnel where to only be one receiver, everyone else.
New York personnel.
Yeah, New York. And that would be like a Keyshawn type.
What was the other one? It was New York was one, but what was the one with the Z?
New York was the X, and
it was the other one.
Chatty O's gonna kill me.
It was the other one though. It was the same thing.
Was it
But it was the Z.
Too tight Z. We used to call it. Or
it might have been too tight Z, but I did both.
Yeah.
I was basically
that's usually 4-minute offense.
Yeah, I was the big dude, so I had to put the hand in the ground. Come in like a fake tight end. I caught Teddy Bruschi one time. Oh shit! Right at the goal line, down in the ground, slam down. He fucking shot, pop out, touchdown, freebie against the Patriots. Thank you. Oh shit! Oh shit! And so I go to the stands and I give the throat slash. They outlawed that because I gave the throat slash, but this was at the time where that probably wasn't a good idea to do.
Why? What was going on?
I think we were coming out of the whole O.J. Simpson saga, the whole deal. Yeah, so Brett Favre did it that same week. Favre did it that same week, and I did it that same week, and the league was like, no more throw slashes, please.
Yeah, too many throw slashes. We'll cut it. Man, 1999, Ricky Williams, the Heisman Trophy. What a monster he was.
Should have gone to SC, though. He's from San Diego.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, he almost came, but I guess Texas paid more.
I heard he took a pay cut to get to the league for his first few years.
Classic.
Probably.
You know, TD, MVP. He was a monster for like a 6-year span. It was just Terrell Davis.
We played against him in the AFC Championship game.
Randy Moss was Rookie of the Year this year. What a stud. I played with Randy. He was a monster. What do you think of Randy?
Freak.
Just,
I've never seen somebody so tall be able to run so fluid. Yeah.
It doesn't even look like he's running fast.
He almost came to SC too.
Well,
he had that close.
He went to he had a crazy story.
Yeah, but when he got bounced out of either Florida State or Notre Dame, he was going to come to SC. But I think we just said, nah, never mind.
Yeah.
Because he was going to come and play with me, but they was just like, I think it was the whole, and it wasn't even that horrible, right?
Yeah.
It's just not, to me, it's nothing near, okay, you get into a fight. Yay! I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
now,
that would have been incredible.
NIL.
Imagine that.
Are you staying all if you were in NIL life,
Yeah.
are you staying at SC all year or are you going to highest bidder?
I'm staying at SC all year.
All career?
Yeah. And the reason is because we could pay. And I'm a loyal person. I'm not a bounce around guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to leave just because somebody offering me, $4 million versus 2.5. I'm not going to jump and run.
Yeah.
Because I'm a loyal guy. Plus, I value education. USC's education. We run the state of California.
Great alum.
Great alums. We're all over the place. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different dynamic. And we'll pay, but it would have been very expensive. I probably would have been, I was having this conversation not too long ago. I probably was, based on what all these Arch Mannings and shit like they're getting, I probably was a $10 million guy a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to equate that, what
Number
they
one
doing
pick,
now,
a receiver.
Oh, yeah.
10 million
of course.
a year,
You'd be
it was
up
a
there.
different, got a certain look. I'm from LA, you know what I'm saying? Kind of got a nice look to me and shit.
Yeah. I probably would have. Because I balled out my sophomore year of college.
But you went to a smaller school.
I would have went to Oregon.
That's what I'm saying.
I would've left.
You'd have left.
I would have went to the Pac-10.
Yeah, of course you'd have left. But it would have been smart for you to leave.
Yeah.
Leaving USC to go where? Like, where am I going? To Alabama? I'm not going to Alabama. Me? Going to Alabama? Brother? Not a chance. From the West Coast? Oh, hell no.
What if the bag was way bigger?
It wasn't going to be much
Oh,
bigger.
that's true. That's true. That's true.
You got to see, we can pay what we want to pay when we want to pay it. To who we want to pay it to. NIL wasn't NIL, but I still got what I needed, even though it wasn't NIL. You see what I'm saying? Wink, wink. Statute of limitations.
I know exactly what you mean.
And then also, SC.
Hey.
They have the most Heismans, right?
I think we do by like one.
By one, like
maybe Ohio State or something.
What's the Mount Rushmore of USC football players?
Man, it'd be tough to build one.
Ooh.
Because we so deep.
Deep.
Yeah, we don't even celebrate All-American status unless you're unless you're first team, and you have to be like Walter Camp or AP or one of those type. It can't be like Julian Edelman's All-American first team. He voted. They wouldn't even dare give you a plaque because we got too many for years. Like we don't even retire jerseys unless you win the Heisman.
Yeah, it's a real estate problem there.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy though. Like you couldn't be on Tom Brady and Julian Edelman's All-American team. Okay, that's cool, but they're not going to honor you for that.
Yeah,
that's just how our university is. It's just a weird deal.
Off the top four right now though, who do you think immediately you can put yourself in?
I'm in automatically though. That's easy.
Got to.
Unanimous, all Pac-12, 100th anniversary team. Like only dude to get it.
Only
one out of everybody. Only one out of all the great players of the Pac-12.
So who are the top three that are sitting up on that nice chiseled
it's hard.
mountain with you?
But no, boss, I'm serious. It's hard because of the history and the depth.
You gotta be on there.
Who?
Marcus Allen.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard.
You almost got to go by era because there's so many different
a Mount
eras.
Rushmore.
Think about this though, Julian. Ronnie Lott. Okay, so let's just say Ronnie Lott, Anthony Munoz, Lynn Swann, Marcus Allen. What about Troy Polamalu? What about Keyshawn Johnson? What about Carson Palmer? What about it's just hard, Reggie. But you can't even. You can do it. I think we do it more by position than we do by the Mount Rushmore. We do ours more by position.
They need a theme park. Okay, there's no Mount Rushmore sighting for USC.
When you start saying best running back, now that's easier. Yeah, Marcus Allen. What about Reggie Bush? Okay, Reggie Bush too. You just Charles White. It's just like But then when you get to receivers, hands down, we all know who that is. So it ain't even question.
It's unanimous.
It's not even
unanimous. Not even close.
Not even close.
Let's go.
Not even close. I'm arrogant, but still not close.
It's not.
It's not close.
So let's jump into this game, Jackie.
Let's do it. Should we hit these Jags first?
Yeah, hit these Jags.
These Jags, 11-5. Only their 4th year in existence. Remember, they came in 95 with the Panthers.
I remember that.
As an expansion team. Tom Coughlin coached all from the beginning to now. GM as well. Drafted Fred Taylor 9th overall this year. Rookie Fred this year.
Freddie T, I played with Freddie.
Beast, bro.
Reggie B. Barlow.
This was back when they were in the AFC Central. For all you conference heads out there. Went 6-2 in divisional games. Started the year hot, 5-0. And just leading up to this, they'd had quite a bit of success. Made the playoffs in their first 2 out of their first 3 seasons. And they were in the AFC Championship in 96, which is pretty crazy.
Keenan McCardell led the team with 64 catches. I mean, receiving. Wait. Oh, no, he just got 64 receptions. I thought that was the leaders.
No.
They just got 2 leaders, Jimmy and him.
Well, Jimmy had 1,100 yards, 8 tugs.
We got to put some shine on these guys.
That's crazy, though. 78 catches and 64 catches back then would be like 125 today.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
You know what's crazy? That what did Fred Taylor didn't really do much this game,
was
though.
a rookie.
Yeah, this is rookie year.
Yeah,
I know, but he still went for 1,200 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a hell of a rookie year, but you could tell probably in Belichick's meeting, he said he ain't letting this guy beat us.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he did.
What do you think about when you think of this Jaguars team?
They was good. I mean, they were right there. They just could never get over the hump. When you look at the secondary, I remember Aaron Beasley came out with me from West Virginia. Donovan Darius with Syracuse. Donovan Darius damn near broke my sternum on a turkey hole shot on the right hand, on the right sideline.
He did a little out and up.
Yeah, and he hit me. Bam!
Yeah.
And I still feel it to this day. I held onto the ball,
Yeah,
but I
did.
fucking, and it's so funny. His daughter, I believe his daughter, his daughter works at Fox. She had put him on the phone with me a couple months ago. Yeah, and we were talking about that hit.
Oh, my.
And then he hit me late on the reverse for the touchdown.
Oh, yeah. You were like 2 steps into the end zone.
Yeah, he hit me late, but whatever. It's just fine.
And you're a tall target, so
yeah,
he
because I
probably
didn't
got you
bend
right
down.
and bop.
Yeah, Deion figures. But he got the worst on the turkey hole shot. He the one who got the worst.
Sometimes because you're a big-ass
Yeah,
motherfucker.
and I knew how to absorb the hit.
Yeah.
Deion
prepared.
Figures, I remember all these dudes. Like, I played with Tony Baselli in college. Tony Baselli taught me how to block.
What did he say?
He just drive my feet, lock in, and just drive my feet, dump.
I just did a voicemail episode before this, and I said, you don't block with your hands, you block with your feet.
Yeah. He taught
And
me
then
how to block.
it's hand battle to get in position.
And I tell Mark Brunell all the time, I pick you, be quiet.
That's true.
Reggie Barlow is one of my good friends.
Now, did Parcells say anything about Coughlin when you remember preparing about this?
Yeah,
Because
he
they were
coached
all
with him.
under him.
Yeah,
at the
he
Giants.
coached with him, and here's what they're gonna do. And Chris Palmer is a friend of mine, and he gave the whole spiel.
Yeah, I can see it. Let's break down these Jets,
Let's
Jackie.
get into these 12-4 New York
12
Jets.
and 4 Jets, man.
It's weird to say, right?
Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy. 12 and 4. We got our ass beat by the Jets in the playoffs.
Oh, Sanchito.
Yeah, Sanchito. Go keep going.
No, man, these guys were AFC East champs. This was Bill Parcells' second season.
Wow.
Turn that thing around quick. You remember 2 years before this, Keyshawn's rookie year, 1-15. I mean, brutal stuff.
That's a fucking turnaround.
Brought in Curtis Martin in the offseason, signed Vinny Testaverde. He'd been let go by Baltimore. 7 regular season wins over eventual playoff teams, which is pretty cool. Like,
Wow.
you beat some good competition this year. Some dudes on this team. This was a team with some dudes. You got Wayne Chrebet. You got Keyshawn, Kyle Brady, the tight end, Vinny Testaverde. I mean,
Pepper Johnson.
Pep was
Ryan
my coach
Cox,
for
Mo
years.
Lewis. And then a star-studded Otis, my man Smith. You got like a star-studded coaching staff. As you know, you got Romeo Crennel. You got Charlie Weiss. You got Bill Belichick. You got Al Groh, who we talked about earlier. The Big Tuna is your head coach. Hadn't won a playoff game in 12 years. Hadn't made the playoffs in 9, so this was big.
No, this was a big deal.
This is a big game. How was Aaron Glenn as a teammate? Do you know he's going to be a head coach?
Current head coach on the team.
I didn't know he would be a head coach until later on in his coaching career.
Yeah.
Great teammate. I mean, it's like one of my boys. But not really looked at him. I thought maybe Otis would have been head coach. Jerome Henderson would have been head coach. Those type of dudes would
Yeah.
have been head coaches, not AG. I didn't think AG was gonna be a head coach.
Hey,
I just didn't see him coaching. He just didn't. He never used to coach. I knew Brian Cox would be a coach because he was always fucking coaching, especially like me. He would coach me and then go cuss out the coaches.
yeah.
He would literally be like, "Man, tell them motherfuckers to get you the ball, man. Don't fucking, Key, man, tell them motherfuckers." And he'd be cussing the coaches out too. This was like, out of all the teams that I played on, this was where I had my most fun, was this unit with these guys.
You're younger also. You're still
Yeah, but just the personalities, like the camaraderie.
a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs, but there was
And you clearly like to work hard if you're with Parcells.
Yeah, this was a serious camaraderie, team building type situation. Where other teams that I played on, it was cliquish. But all of us would hang together, whether it was Richie, whether it was Ray Lucas, whether it was even Chrebet, even Dietrich Ward, obviously Chris, Vic, Marcus Coleman, Mo, Ferry. I just was with Ferry not too long ago.
Heck yeah.
Peacock. Like, we all would fucking go after the games, all go to the clubs and party and do. It was just
I love that.
It was just a crazy thing, man. But the interesting thing is, Bill would have me followed by security.
Whoa.
Like, the security team would follow me wherever I go. And I come back the next day and be like, "How was that chicken parm? Well, how did that go?" "Fuck you, this motherfucker, man. What's wrong with you?" I'm like,
Details?
"Dude, seriously." So one day, I was in New Jersey. And New Jersey from our practice facilities, probably in traffic, was probably 3-hour drive or whatever the case is. So I was messing with a gal at this time that was, she's laughing, that I probably
married.
I probably shouldn't have been messing with. Let's
Okay.
just say that. Probably should have waited a little bit longer
Yeah.
to deal with that. So I get back to the facility. He goes, "What were you doing in Jersey?" That's the way he talked. "What were you doing in Jersey?" "What do you mean, what was I doing? I wasn't in Jersey. Don't you lie to me." I said, "What you talking about, Bill? Don't you drive a green Navigator, one of those trucks?" I said, "Yeah, I drive a green Navigator." He says, "Are you stupid or are you dumb?" I said, "What the fuck?" I said, "Coach, what are you talking about? You were over at Broad's house." I'm like, "Bill, what are you talking about? Are you stupid? She's not even officially divorced yet." I'm like, "What the fuck? You should park your car in the garage. You got your car parked outside. I know everything I'm telling you the truth, Jules." And I'm like, "This motherfucker really?" And so I started, so I was mad
That he
basically the whole week. So I wouldn't even talk to him. See, I played games with him. I literally, ask some of my ex-teammates if you ever get a chance to. I used to play games with the coaches. You know how coaches try to act, you have a bad game and they try to act like they don't want to talk to you, or they don't say but 2 words. That's how I used to treat them.
Yeah.
I'd go warm up, put my cleats on, won't talk to him. I'll go stand over there, stretch by myself. "What's wrong with him today?" "Nothing wrong with me, I'm good." I walk away. They try to bring me, "I want to tell you something about this route." I go, "Oh, okay, cool." Go back. I freeze them out like they would do us.
Yeah.
And so that whole week, I didn't say a word to him at all. And you could tell he knew that he made me mad by sending Steve Yarnell, which was our security guy, sent some of their investigators to follow me. They used to literally follow us all in New York City and everything. But that's why I love him, though. It was some of the best. It was some of the best. Those times were some of the best, man.
Keyshawn, you're a big investment, dog.
No, but you don't.
You're a big investment.
But you don't need to have. First of all, I don't do drugs.
Regardless,
I don't even think I was drinking at this time.
It's not about that though. It's about what if.
No, I get it.
What if someone comes in?
I know, I get it. I probably shouldn't
see the green Navigator.
I probably
and
shouldn't
the husband, or I don't know.
I probably should have
park in the garage.
I know some Parcells got 2 dudes out there gatting them for you.
No, it's
You
true.
would've been
No,
loving
it's
them.
true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I'm gonna say it's true. Probably shouldn't have done that. But what are you gonna say?
You're
You're
young.
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 It was one of them things. It was like, oh.
Hey, we've all been there.
That's Jersey living, baby.
What was Wayne Chrebet like a teammate?
Wayne was cool, man. He was just a normal guy who worked his little tail off, overachiever,
Yeah.
deserved literally everything that he got. And we played together, and it's a crazy thing because we used to go out.
Yeah.
We went to Atlantic City in the limousine together. And this was after my book. This is like in 98 and shit. He was cool, man, hard worker.
Yeah.
You know, he was a hard-working little son of a gun. I call him the original.
They call him the slot father.
What's the fucking guy that played in New England?
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker.
Yeah.
He's the original Wes Welker type. He was a good little dude, scrappy, would fight his ass off, you know. And the thing with me and him is the media in New York, West Coast versus East Coast, white versus black, big personality versus little old hometown hero. They took that and ran with it.
So they
created it.
See, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they created but in all fairness, I probably shouldn't have called him a mascot in my book. but it wasn't, I didn't look at it as a diss. That's not what I looked at it as.
You looked at it like he's the flag carrier.
He's the guy that no matter what goes wrong,
He's a Jet.
he's a fucking Jet through and through.
Yeah. I get what you meant.
That's the way I looked
Flag
at it.
carrier.
But they, in the media,
Yeah.
didn't look at it that way. They looked at it as brash West Coast flip-flop wearing board short t-shirt. Guy comes in driving Ferrari. Our guy who works hard, carries a lunch pail from New Jersey. I dare you. That's the way they looked at it, you know? Yeah, I was like, whatever.
I saw that Cribs episode of Wayne Chrebet. He has some cars now.
See, you feel me?
Wayne Chrebet on Cribs.
But
He
wait.
was on Cribs,
Yo,
wasn't he? Remember?
Yeah, he was on Cribs.
Cribs.
I don't remember that.
He got the pool.
I gotta pull that
He had
up.
like got the pool.
He had a
with the
couple
whole
of
shit.
he had a couple
Yeah.
Corvettes and
He
shit.
had Vets. He had a Bentley. All
Yeah.
that shit.
Hey.
But that was the difference. So that right there is why I became the number one overall pick. It
Yeah.
wasn't just my football skills. It was everything that I brought to the organization. When I first got to the Jets, them jokers was wearing jeans and boots and driving trucks. All of a sudden, I'm suited and booted. I got the earrings. I got the diamond Rolexes. I'm living a certain life, driving Ferraris in New York City. It was just a different, you see what I'm saying?
You know what the kids call that now?
What's that, swag?
They say you got aura.
Well, I had aura. I had
Yeah,
swag.
yeah,
I had
that
swag
aura.
before swag.
That's right.
Oh, plus Riz.
You know,
Riz
plus
is the
Riz.
charisma.
Yeah, I got all that. Yeah, I
Charisma.
had
Big
all
three,
that.
baby.
And so all of a sudden, that team, all those dudes changed.
Yeah.
They start driving Ferraris, Porsches, Mercedes-Benz trucks. They just started doing all that shit.
They were also 1-15, 2-14. When you go 8-8 and you start making the playoffs, Joker's gonna you gotta saddle
They
up.
go, you've never had this experience to be able to go into a city and you get ready to go in a restaurant and they close the window on you. No, it's closed and open because you suck. They wouldn't even let you in New York.
Oh,
I've
man.
had that experience before.
That's brutal.
You know, we're like,
Oh.
how you go? They like, oh no, we closed. It's like, come on, man, you serious right now? I just see y'all let in 5 people. It's 9 o'clock, man. It's New York City. Because they wouldn't even let us in because we was so bad they didn't want our business.
Wow.
We were bad though at 1-15.
But you're not here.
No, we're good there. We're
So
good.
let's jump into it. Let's see. Jackie, let's break this game down.
So the Jets were coming in this thing, the 2 seed, got the bye, finished the year in a 6-game win streak. They were hot. The Jags, new team, but up and coming, balling, couldn't quite get over that hump, as Keyshawn said earlier. First time they won their division, they were the 3 seed, coming off a wild card round win over the Patriots, 25-10. Faltered a little bit down the stretch, lost 2 of their last 3 in the regular season.
Ooh.
And this was Bill Parcells' first game as Jets head coach in the playoffs, and Keyshawn's first playoff game.
See, I didn't even know what the 2 seed meant back then. I was so young.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the magnitude of getting the 2 seed. You know, I didn't really, it's like, oh, we're in the playoffs. We got the 2 seed. Okay, we got a home game. I didn't really,
And a bye.
the bye, I really didn't digest it until later on in my career, how important that shit was.
Well, when you're older, you need it more too.
Yeah.
Because you need the health. You know, you need that extra time. Now, what do you do on bye week with Parcells? Did he give you a tough bye week, or are you guys full blue and white game like we used to do?
Full
We had
everything.
a scrimmage.
No, we didn't scrimmage, but we would have practice and the whole deal in pads and run it back and do, start it back from the top. You fucked up, blah, blah, blah. Same thing.
2 days would be really hard. Give you a few days off, then come back and start it
No,
up.
so we would we would try to figure out when we actually had off.
Everyone. I mean, that
But they wouldn't tell us. Never.
Sneaky coaches.
No, because Bill used to do that shit with us.
But I've always had
moles.
Molds.
You got to have the
I've
mole.
always had a mold.
You always have a mole.
Always. Because I was always cool to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
right? I'm taking care of dudes.
Yeah.
I'm always.
Got to.
So they, like, I'm not supposed to say this, but I think you guys are off on Friday, back Monday, that type of thing.
So who's a mole? Like someone on the coaching staff,
It'd
lower
be-
level?
The coaching staff would know, but they be
It could be a GA
It
or
could
like
be a GA. Or it could be an assistant coach. Like I was close.
Yeah.
I was close with Todd Haley, my receiver coach. So that's like my brother.
Mhm.
And Bill knew that. So he wouldn't even tell Todd certain shit.
Yeah.
Trying to find out who the rat
Man,
is.
it's one time, and I don't know if New England they ever did this before. So we're actually getting ready to play New England. This is the
Oh, the Foxy Lady game? No.
This is either Tuna Bowl 1 or Tuna Bowl 2.
Okay, let me look
We
here.
did
Back
Tuna Bowl
to New
1 with
England.
Bears.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go watch it here.
You did Tuna Bowl 1 with who?
With Bears Najera.
You know Bears.
Bears was my
Yes.
he was my guy.
Yeah. And then Bill took him from you.
Yeah, Bill took him from me.
So
That's
Bears
fine.
started with Keyshawn,
Oh, how was he back then?
He was young. He
Yeah.
was my age basically,
but he worked hard.
but he was my guy.
Yeah.
If I went left, he went left. If I went right, he went right. You wanted to get me on Julian's show, you had to talk to him. He was with me at the press conferences. I was essentially training him for Belichick the whole entire time.
And he scooped and scored on you.
Yeah, no, but I told Bill to hire him because we all left at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, this is who you need, because that press conference you had was horse shit with that note. You better hire my dude. And so, oh shit, I forgot my train of thought what I was about to say. Oh, Tuna Bowl.
Yeah.
So the Tuna Bowl, and I don't know if Belichick ever did this. So we're practicing. And now practice is sloppy. He got so pissed. He snatched the call sheets and everything. He made all the coaches get off the field. He made the fucking guy from the tower come down, stop taping. Practice is over. If you motherfuckers want to win and you want to practice, stay out here and do the shit your fucking self. They started leaving. The coaches leaving. He upstairs at his little window. You can see him opening the curtain every now and then trying to see us. He want to see us when we practicing. Because Vinny and B. Coxon, they have the defense.
boys.
Yeah, we got the whole deal.
guys.
Yeah, the whole deal. The whole deal.
Who really cares?
Yeah, the whole deal. The whole deal. And we made the film guys go back up and start film. So they watched the tape. Coaches with the bullshit. They watched the tape. I just was like, these motherfuckers. And we went up to Foxborough, beat the shit out of Pete Carroll, man. Yeah, we beat them bad.
Oh.
Yeah, we beat them bad.
That was bad. I think Tuna Bowl 2, I think.
Yeah, it might have been Tuna Bowl 2.
Yeah, the first one was close.
Yeah,
27,
touchdown
24.
the first one, I think. Like a last minute touchdown.
Yeah, I hit the corner. I hit the Max Cafe XQ. I was the X on the Max Cafe at the deep corner in the back of the end zone on the left-hand side. I know my shit
and then
like it
it
was yesterday.
went to overtime,
XQ.
and there was some special team stuff.
Yeah. And John Hall missed the field goal, the walk-off field goal.
Yeah.
I love John Hall. Smoked that weed. That was my kicker.
Hey, the kicker?
Yeah, he was cool. He wasn't a kicker. He was a dude.
Well, we had a couple of those guys
No,
too.
he was a guy.
Yeah.
Like he was one of our boys. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
There's always a kicker or a punter that can hang with the boys.
And back in that day,
they were probably hated more.
yeah, but you got to think back in that day, he was so cool and he liked the black girls and he's a white kicker and he wanted to hang out with us because he liked the black chicks. You know what I'm saying? No, we don't care, but back in that day, but like, times have changed a lot.
When you say once you go black, you never go back. Oh man.
Oh, man. Shout out John Hall.
Shout out John Hall.
Jay Heasy.
Getting in there.
Bill's been this team. This bring back memories. This is a fun team.
All right.
What a good group of dudes.
Let's jump into the game.
All right, we just got a little quote from Keyshawn here to foreshadow this thing. Week leading up to the game, Keyshawn said, I want to be the guy on every play, running, catching, blocking, whatever. And we saw that today in this game.
Literally.
From Keyshawn with the stat line. Insane. Comes out hot. Vinny finds Keyshawn in that 21-yard seam right down the middle there. Touchdown. John Hall then adds on a 52-yarder at the time, the longest field goal in Jets playoff history.
Wow.
Little fun fact for the special teamers there.
Damn, I didn't know he hit a 52-yarder.
Got up 10-0. Then we get to one of the wilder moments of the game, where Keyshawn's fumble recovery comes from. Curtis Martin fumble.
Weird too.
Chris Hudson returns the ball, tries to do a lateral on the run
Hustle
back.
play.
Hustle play from Keyshawn. Tracks
other
it down.
side.
Other side.
Gotta
Came
go
down,
get it.
recovered that thing.
Got to.
Yeah.
Get
You
mad
got-
whenever the ball was turned
You
over.
gotta chase in this situation. That was just me in general though, right? I was on the other side of the field and I saw Curtis fumble, and then I just said, let me get on my horse. If they can slow him down, I'm gonna catch him. They just gotta make him slow it down. That's what happened. And then he wound up trying to lateral it because I was in the right place at the right time and doing my job. This is what happens.
That's what happens when you hustle.
Amen.
Right place. at
Don't
the
give
right
up on the
time.
play. It was one of the dumber moves I've seen, that lateral attempt.
That was a bad lateral.
No, it was.
I don't know.
Because he's not used to carrying the ball.
Right.
Remember, did
Runners
Parcells,
run, catchers catch, throwers throw.
Did Parcells ever have drills for the defensive guys,
Yeah, they always had drills.
like on how to carry the ball?
I don't know if they
We
did.
used to do that. Bill would show those plays
Yeah.
and say, "Look, asshole! Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not.
look, asshole.
Look, we're not doing this.
We're not
Like,
doing this. Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna do this, it better be the last play of the game, and we need. You know what I mean? It's just fucking
Oh
funny.
my gosh. I would hate to be in the film room with Bill if I had done that lateral.
Oh my god.
No, it was crazy though. This game,
Crazy, man. And
this
then
game was crazy too.
insane. That set up Keyshawn's other touchdown, the end around, as we mentioned
Was it
earlier.
F reverse? Are you
No,
F
it
on
was,
that play?
It was bunch right, toss 38, Gator, Z reverse
The
left.
same fucking play.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So we would change formationally depending
They
on
started
personnel.
getting into all that zip, zoom, snug bullshit
Yeah.
later on. That shit, I had all that shit with Gruden punk ass. I ain't-
Zip is just basically Taylor Ziti got to come in to block.
Yeah, or come half zip down. Because we would do that too. We would go bunch right, zip, toss 38 Gator. So I would come and zip down and then come back around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Gruden like as a coach?
Let's get through this.
Anyways, before the half, we get up 17-0 here. There's a little scuffle before the half. You like to see that in playoff football. Jumbo Elliott and old Kevin Hardy, they were getting into it.
Jumbo was big,
He
man.
was a
I don't know
beast,
what type
bro.
of offensive lineman you played with, but he might have been one of the big. He couldn't walk through the door, man. He was one of them type of dudes. He was
All-time name, too.
So big.
Yeah, we had a couple. I had one really big. Trent
Yeah, Trent Brown.
Brown
Oh,
was
massive.
a large human. I think he was like
No,
6'9".
But Jumbo was a large human, but ripped up. cut
Yeah.
up. He had the little, you know how we used to,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had the V back in the day?
Yeah.
That's what he had as a lineman. He had the V. That
That's
shit
like-
looked crazy.
That's insane.
We had
All
a-
natural too.
We had a Nate Solder.
Yeah, I know Nate. Yeah,
Nate
yeah.
was really like he was 315 pounds with a six pack.
Yeah, this is how Jumbo was.
Yeah, you know what I
was-
mean. So there's just like
Jumbo
big,
was cool too.
big boned men.
Jumbo was cool. That was one of my coolest offensive line homies I had.
Heck yes.
He had to
No,
lay it off.
it's so funny, man. Before you mentioned the halftime, before the half, Jimmy Smith scored, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, 52-yard bomb
6 seconds
right
left.
as the half was almost
So I
about-
was supposed to go in the game
Oh,
Be the safety.
to be the safety.
wow.
Parcells and Belichick got into it. And it was the craziest shit I ever seen on the sideline between two coaches ever. Because Belichick didn't want to put me in. Parcells wanted to put me in. Belichick said no. And they went right up the rail, bomb, touchdown. And them Parcells just lit his ass up.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
How was that relationship?
At that time, I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
And then it's great now. They like boys
No,
and
yeah,
shit now. But at that time, I thought it was fine. I don't know the
Yeah.
difference, right? He came back the next year. But that thing, my eyeballs, I was like, because I'm standing there ready to go in,
Yeah, you know the situation.
you know, and he's like, no. And Parcells told him, at this time, Parcells said something to the effect of, you think you know every fucking thing. You're fucking genius, huh? You think you know everything. That's why you fucking got fired from Cleveland.
Yeah, that'll get the fumes going. Shots fired.
I was like this. Oh shit. So when the situation came up again, I went in and got the interception. That
Yo,
was the
The
craziest
genius.
thing. But I seen Bill do that to the coaches before.
Parcells the type of coach that goes for neck always.
my
He's going for
God.
throat. He's
Oh,
gonna go for kill shot,
man.
just to try to light that fire in your ass.
Kill
probably.
shot. I watched Bill get at Charlie Weiss one time, because you know how you do the cards?
Yeah,
The cards wasn't in sync. It was like all messed up. And at this time, Krispy Kreme Krispy Kreme donuts had just became a big thing, came to the East Coast of New York. So we used to make all the younger guys go pick them up.
Friday practice.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, pick them up, put them out. And Charlie would come to the players' lounge and get some.
We know Charlie likes some donuts.
And he had messed up the cards one time, and Bill said, I bet you if these fucking cards, Krispy Kreme donuts, you'd have got that right. Jesus. We was like, oh, shit. But that's how he was, though,
Hey.
you know? That's how he was.
He on
gosh.
everyone. What's the worst thing he laid into you?
When I was with the Jets, though, I'm trying to think, one time, he would just say, that, am I coming to play? Am I coming to the game? That wasn't smart, shit like that. He wasn't really never, into me like that. But when I got to Dallas, coming from Tampa, we're playing the Cleveland Browns, and the late Terry Glenn gets hit late. So I see it from a distance, and I run over there, and I kicked the shit out of the dude from spearing him, kicked him. So I basically took 4 points off the board because we wound up kicking a field goal, 15-yard, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, that was stupid. I don't know what's gotten into you. Since you left the fucking Jets, and that shit was stupid, and just going off and off and off. And I'm barking back at him, cussing back at him, cussing. And that was pretty much it. Then one time, we up in Seattle, we're playing the Seahawks, and I was playing okay. I had a good game, but I should have called a corner route for a touchdown, but I didn't jump enough, aggressive enough. I kind of just put my hands up and I didn't go get it. And so I go back to the sideline, kick a field goal. He's talking shit, whatever. So I'm like, I said, well, I don't have to play for you. You can fucking trade me. I don't really give a fuck. You can cut me whatever you want to, and see how this rest of the season go.
So you fight fire with more fire.
So now, end of the game, I'll take the fucking ball off the dude's head on a Vinny, I don't know, it might have been like a 40-yard throw, touchdown. But I go and I just mossed the dude. So after the game, walked through, you can play with me anytime. I said, of course I can. That's the type of shit, because I was a shit talker, right? We played.
He was just he knew how to push people's buttons to get them to work.
I told you, so one time we playing Indy, and this is 99. We're playing in Indy. If we win, we're in. Testaverde's hurt, Ray Lucas is in. So we go timeout, sideline. They say, what do you want to do? Because they used to come to me for a lot of plays. He come to me, go, what do you want to do? So, man, I'm whatever y'all want to do. I think we should go for a vert here, leave me inside, put Wayne outside of me. And then I think Charlie was like, no, put Key outside, put Wayne in four, let's go half personnel, the bender, make him the bender. They'll all run the Keyshawn. Everything was perfect. Really, it was a perfect call play. Everything was good. Except Wayne couldn't get up to get it because it was just slightly above his hands. So the ball ricochets off his hands. We lose the game. It's not his fault. Whatever, right? Going to the locker room. Bill's walking in. God damn it. Fucking mad. There's a trash can. And the trash can is steel. It's not plastic. He kicks the fucking trash can. I think he broke his toe. So I go to him. That's what you get.
What'd he say?
He just looked at me. He used to do, man, we have, that's like a father to me. I talk to him 4 or 5 times a month. He kicks a thing. I go, that's what you get. And he just shakes his head, whatever. But the things that I would do, like you said, fight fire with fire, needle with needle, right?
Yeah.
But I was the first one on the bus. He didn't know that I was like that till we played Buffalo. And I happened to be the first one on the bus taking his seat. You see what I'm saying? Up in Buffalo. And he was shocked because he was on the first bus that leaves super early. He couldn't believe it because he ain't never had nobody like that before.
Yeah.
So he respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could be an asshole if you put your work in.
Oh, he was an asshole. I broke my ankle.
No, but he like you.
Oh, yeah.
You could be who you could be if you put the work in.
We in Dallas, though, I break my ankle. I mean, we playing in Dallas. We're in New York. I break my ankle last game of the season, but I needed a scope. This is the first time I've ever been hurt. Had a $500,000 incentive. I needed 22 yards more. Going into the game, I needed 44. I got hurt in the first quarter. I hit a deep crosser on an Apache route, 22 yards, cleat get caught, snap, right? I'm in the locker room. I'm sitting on the thing. Fuck. He comes over. What's wrong with him? He goes, well, Bill, he broke his ankle. He goes, good. He can get surgery on both now. I'm like, this motherfucker. But just great, though. He was cool, though. That's my guy.
Well, so you guys go in halftime. There's kind of some mixed emotions. Clearly a blow up between the coaching staff. You just gave up a big ass touchdown. What are the vibes in the locker room at halftime?
We're probably still feeling confident.
Yeah.
But we just can't make mistakes. That was a mistake to let Jimmy Smith up the rail right before the half. That was a big mistake on our part.
Yeah. Jackie, break down the second half.
Second half, the Jags just would not go away. A Wayne Chrebet fumble, a Vinny interception in the end zone, big run back, 88-yard run back on a kickoff. Like, just would not go away. This thing kept getting to, like, it would get 17-0, then it was 24-0, then 31-14. Then it's a one-score game, 31-24 with 2.5 left. When Donovan Darius picked off Vinny in the end zone, like I mentioned earlier. But Keith Byers ran it out of the end zone, got stopped on the one. Bad field position. Said Jets stopped him, ended up tacking on a field goal, so it's 34-24. That takes us to the end where a last-ditch Hail Mary try, Keyshawn's interception ends this thing.
What are the
final score of
34-24 the game?
Well, they AG wanted it, but I stepped in front of it, right? They're telling me to bat. I'm like, I'm batting shit down.
If you can get it, you get it.
I'm getting it. I'm like, fuck that. And so the vibe was cool. We celebrate. It was fun because most of the time I hang with the defense. I hang with the defense. And so, that was all my boys, all the secondary, all of my guys. We all hang together. And they knew I was going, Ray Mickens and all them, they knew I was going, they was like, this motherfucker go get a pick.
So you're in team meeting that Monday.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm like,
you're rolling in. So
yeah, I'm the guy.
The best.
Yeah, I'm like the best.
When you make a play that you're not supposed to, like, that's not your, because when I threw a touchdown, I came in, I iced up my arm and shit. You know what I mean? You always do something to fuck with.
But Belichick wanted me to knock it down.
Yeah.
I ain't knocking, man. You shut up,
You got a 10-point cushion. Come on, give me that pick.
Fuck out here. I wasn't nobody here. I knew I was fine. I was going to get my pick.
Hell yeah, you got to. And you guys go out, you finish out a game, you get the first Jets playoff win in 12 years, first playoff appearance in 9 years. Your first game in the playoffs, you fucking ball out 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing, an interception.
Fumble recovery.
Insane. What a day.
Game.
What a do it all day. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention, at the time, this was the largest.
3 touchdowns.
It could have been 3.
After
Almost
further
3.
review, oh man, should have been 3. We got to mention, this would go down as the largest crowd in pro football history at that point. 78,817.
Bigger than the old
Isn't that crazy?
Redskins stadium?
At this
They used to
time.
have 100.
At this time.
That was always the biggest stadium when I was a kid. Remember?
I thought the Redskins Stadium, I don't know, maybe it was 77,000.
Yeah.
We just
That's
thought it was
what
bigger.
this seems shocking to me.
That's crazy.
It was so loud, though.
Oh my God.
It
Even
was
on the telecast
loud.
watching back.
Oh, so loud. You
What
could
was it
feel
like
the vibration, The
Fireman
fans
Ed.
were just, the fireman Ed, the fans was just amazing. So
We
when you
were-
go from people, your rookie year, Edelman, so you never experienced this.
What?
A guy wearing a bag over his head with drips of sadness with his eyes poked out, crying as a grown man. You never had to experience that. So
No.
I experienced that as a rookie. When I'm walking through the tunnel after a loss, and the guy goes, you suck, takes it off, goes, we wasted the number 1 pick on you, you suck. Grown-ass man.
Sounds
crying.
like Jets fans.
Jet fans.
Sounds like
Crying.
Jet fan to me.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you go to this.
And you got Fireman Ed over here doing
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Got something to cheer for now, man.
That had to be so fuck. You know what? I hope the Jets turn it around here soon. I think it'd be good for the league.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll be fine under Aaron Glenn.
AG's got he's got a
Aaron
new
Glenn's a
regime.
good dude to do it too.
Yeah.
Former
Yeah.
player for the
Yeah.
team, knows it. Last time they've actually really won, except when Sanchito was there and he beat us and went to the AFC Championship twice.
Key, have you talked to him since he took over?
I talk
nice.
to AG a couple times a week.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So what's the legacy of this game, Keyshawn?
Really, my first real experience in the playoffs. I mean, that's really it. That's how you are supposed to approach the postseason. You're supposed to approach it that way. That's the way I look at it.
Hell yeah.
You know? That's why I picked it because, college is like whatever. I'm a man amongst boys in college. You know what I'm saying?
That Rose Bowl game, though.
These dudes, I know, but I'm a man amongst boys in college.
It's too easy.
Dude just left the fucking prom a week ago trying to cover me, right? I'll be like, come on, right? I'll be like, think about it. Different than the pros. You got grown men with full beards with car seats in the back. In college, you got a dude that just literally left the prom in May. And
he still got his corsage on.
Ain't no chance.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Ain't no chance.
You a 4th, 5th year senior. This dude's a 17-year-old dude. Eyeballs as big as saucers. They're just,
calves aren't even developed yet.
Oh, my
exactly.
Oh, man.
Still trying to figure out how he get his first kiss.
And we got to mention also in the aftermath of this, in the years that follow the near history, a pivotal moment in Jets and Patriots history. Bill Parcells would step down as Jets head coach in '99. Bill Belichick would famously take over for a day. We all know the napkin, everything, and how that went down.
I was there.
How'd it go down? What's the inside?
So I came back.
Keyshawn, I'm not taking this fucking job.
No.
outta here.
So I came back into town. I had went out of town for like something, and I came back. And I went to the facility. I was working out or whatever. And they like press conference upstairs. I'm like, what's going on? I said, I think Bill's getting ready to retire. What the fuck you mean? So I go up to Parcells' office, and he's there. He's like, well, some old bullshit or whatever. I'm like, oh, so now Bears is taking me back down to the big room, and I'm standing at the top of the auditorium or whatever. The
Team
auditorium,
room.
yeah, team room. So he's there. I'm at the top on the wall, just standing there looking. And here comes Belichick out the other side. He had like a sweatshirt on or some shit. He got the little napkin, and he's reading it, and the media's there. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And so I'm talking to John Lott, the strength coach at the time, and he like, I think Bill, this shit is, he ready to be the head coach. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm fucking with Belichick at this time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't know. So now the process is, well, Belichick doesn't want the job now. The fuck you mean? He just took the job. No, he didn't take the job. He doesn't want the job. Damn, well, what we gonna do? So now at this point, it's all chaotic and crazy, right? It's like, damn, we ain't got no coach. We ain't got this, we got that.
Ain't got no job.
I'm trying to get a new
Friday.
check. No, I'm trying to get a new check. Now I'm getting a new, you know what I'm saying? I done came off back-to-back Pro Bowls. I'd have been the Pro Bowl MVP when the Pro Bowl was real, not T-shirts. Like you know what I'm saying?
Trying to get cheddar.
I'm trying to get cheddared up. And at this point, I'm like, damn, what we gonna do? So conversation was being had, and they just shit just went chaotic and crazy.
Like literally, like people are like, no.
Yeah, it went crazy. But I felt like we was in good hands with Belichick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Belichick, at the time when they traded me, Belichick, if he'd have stayed the head coach, he wouldn't trade me. He didn't understand why he was like, there's no fucking way I'm trading him.
Yeah.
But they wind up trading me because Al Groh felt like he didn't need me. He could just win with defense and mentality. But the crazy thing about it is Parcells became the president of the team. So he had full autonomy and authority to do whatever he wanted to. So Parcells is actually the person who traded me, not Al Groh, not the owner. But he trades me to Tampa Bay. Right?
Away from the division.
Away from the division. He gets 2 number 1 picks, the whole deal, right? Because he originally pitched me to go to Green Bay, but he knew I didn't want to go to Green. He knew I wasn't going to fucking Green Bay. Like, he knew that, and I wasn't going to fucking Baltimore. Baltimore had the 4th pick, and Green Bay had somewhere in there, but you can go play with Favre. I'm like, man, I ain't going to fucking Green Bay. I'm coming out of New York. So he trades me to Tampa Bay with the notion that he's getting ready to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach. Ain't that a bitch?
He thought he was going to be the coach?
He was going to be the coach. He turned it down. He accepted it and then turned it down.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so here's how the story went. Here's how it went. I arrive in Tampa. They trade me for 2 ones. I go to Tampa. I do the trade deal, whatever, get the bank, get the bag, the whole shit, right? Now, Tampa Bay, we're struggling to win. We're not winning. We get to the playoffs, we lose. So now they get ready to fire Dungy.
Yeah.
Bill, the whole time, was eyeing the Tampa Bay job when he retired.
Good place to retire.
But he had already left him at the altar several years later before he took the New England Patriot job. He had left the owners of the Buccaneers at the altar already once.
Yeah.
And then he did the shit the second time after taking the job. He hired the staff and everything and then decided, I don't want to do it anymore. But the staff was already in place in Tampa. So now you move to the John Gruden era. That's how we wound up getting Gruden, is because we was left without a coach because Bill was supposed to take the job and didn't take the job.
And then they traded for Gruden.
And then they had to find a coach. They went and got Gruden. That's how we wound up with Gruden. But the staff was already in place.
So it was the same, it was a Parcells staff under Gruden?
It was a Parcells staff to a degree under Gruden, except the defense was all Tony Dungy and Monty Kiffin them.
Oh, there you go.
The defense was
Still
done.
Kiffin.
It was going to be Kiffin.
Tampa 2.
It was going to be the Tampa 2 suit. Offensive was Bill Murr, offensive line coach from the Jets. Tannenbaum was going to be the general manager, which was our guy at the Jets. Receiver coach was Richard Mann, which was my receiver coach at the Jets. Right? It was all like whatever didn't go to New England was in Tampa. And then Bill was like, I ain't doing it.
Fucking Parcells. I'm going to have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to see him here soon.
Yeah, you're both going to get into the Patriot Hall of Fame together.
Yeah.
And when he was driving, he was supposed to be, I don't remember what day it was, but he was driving to Florida. And I was anticipating him being there because Tannenbaum had already came and, looked at everything and scoped it all out and did the whole deal.
For the changes.
He calls me and he goes, I'm not doing it. What the fuck do you mean you're not doing it? I'm not going to take it. I think something happened to his brother. His brother got sick or something. He just was like, I don't want to do it right now. But then the next year he winds up going to Dallas.
Ain't that a bitch?
That's wild.
And then he trades for me from Tampa to Dallas.
He just loved you.
I did everything he wanted me to do, though. You know how that goes.
It's because you became the guy that was in the Rose Bowl.
I was a Parcells guy.
You're a Parcells guy.
Yeah.
208, baby. 225. I need you to the Rose Bowl guy. 208, coach. I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm good.
Let's
I'm
score
a
the
teacher's
game.
pet.
Park that car in the garage.
Let's score the game and name the game. Let's name the game. We have Keyshawn's big day. Welcome to NY. The Jets over the Jags. The Keyshawn Johnson game. The madness in the Meadowlands. The Keyshawn does it all game. Which one do you want to pick, Keyshawn?
I'll probably go Madness in the Meadowlands.
Madness at the Meadowlands.
Yeah, at the Meadowlands, yeah.
Score of the game. Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score it. Keyshawn, stakes 0 to 10 of this divisional round game. Decimals okay. You got to score.
Greatest of all time?
10 being the fucking most important thing ever. 0 being.
I would say at this time the most important thing ever because of the Jets. It's a 10.
Honestly.
It's a 10.
Honestly.
Divisional round, I'm going to go 8.
Winner go home. Winner
go home.
At
8.6,
8.1.
Out of 8.1.
Star power of this game. People that are at the stadium, players, coaches.
Shit.
What was the star power of this game? 0 to 10, decimals okay.
I would probably say a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Just on the coaching staff's
A
alone.
lot of future head coaches. We didn't even talk about Scott Frost. A lot of future head coaches in this.
Scott Frost. Give me
I'm going to go with the.
That's the right answer.
Frosty. We used to fuck with him all the time. Because this is when he got in trouble with Lawrence Phillips and stuff. We used to tease him all the time. Like, you were scared of shit, huh? Lawrence Phillips is going to kick your ass. Huh?
I'll give it an 8.8.
Got a 7.9.
Out of 8.4.
Gameplay of the game, how the game went. I mean, it was back and forth.
A lot of big plays.
Close, a lot of turnovers, exciting football.
I would say a 7.
Good score.
I like that.
I'm gonna go 7.5.
I had a 6.8.
Out of 7.1.
We're all in the same area.
Yeah.
And now we score the name of the game, the Madness at the Meadowlands, 0 to 10 decimals okay.
Oh, it's a 10.
10. Madness
It's crazy.
at the Meadowlands.
Loud. They ain't never seen nothing like this. Some of them people in the stands ain't seen the Jets win a playoff game in 100 years.
Yeah. That's probably true. I'm gonna go 8. I'm right mid. Where does this stack up?
Oh, I had a 5.0.
I had a 4.9.
Where does it stack up?
Let's find
We'll
out.
see. Calculating.
It's a 7.82.
7.82.
So that puts us at the new 45th slot, just behind the 2021 SEC championship game, Georgia versus Alabama, and just above the 1985 Week 13 Bears versus Dolphins Monday Night Football game.
Bears versus the
45th
Dolphins.
game.
I don't remember that game.
That was the game. That was the only defeat the Bears had in 1985.
Yeah, I just don't remember the game.
Well, all the Dolphins guys always taking the champagne.
2021, I remember that championship game.
That was a freaking crazy game.
It's boring. People got tired of watching that game.
Yeah, I know.
Alabama, Georgia.
Keyshawn, we miss anything on this game?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, you gave us some great
That was
Stories.
That was
awesome
epic.
insight, perspective.
No, that's cool, yeah.
Fucking had a blast. Everyone go check them out on Speak on FS1, weekdays at 5 p.m. Follow him on all the social platforms, Instagram and X at Keyshawn. And thank you, bro, for coming on.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All
I had
Facts, No
fun,
Breaks
man,
podcast.
anytime.
That's right.
All Facts, No Breaks podcast. Check it out. Fire.
Yeah,
And you got to let me know when I'm on.
No, yeah, speaking of that, All Facts, No Breaks, we're actually doing this summer, we're going to release the Legends of LA. So what I've done is I've gone around the city of LA, whether it was athletes, entertainment, whatever the case is, anywhere from NWA, to Paul Pierce, Baron Davis, Deshaun Jackson, people that's from Southern California that really took it to the next level. I'm interviewing them in different sequences, and we put it all together. So we're rolling out as like a 7-part series, documentary style.
Oh, that's
awesome.
tight.
Pretty fucking awesome.
That's a great idea.
it's cool.
What's it called?
It's gonna be All Facts, No Breaks, but it's All Facts, No Breaks, LA Legends.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty
Wow. I can't wait to see that.
cool. Like I interviewed like Ice Cube. And,
Hell yeah.
We're looking to get him on the show real soon. It's coming soon.
Who?
Ice Cube.
Cube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Barry Davis on too.
Yeah, BD.
BD's
all-
awesome.
All the,
I went
all
down
LA
over to his
dudes.
little,
Steve
his little
Smith.
compound. You been over there?
Uh-huh.
It's sick. We had those. He's
Yeah, I grew up with all them dudes, like everybody from LA, basically. Shit I grew up with.
That's fucking great class to be out, man. LA, they show out. Thank you for coming on.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Man, Keyshawn's pro.
That might have been sneaky one of my favorite episodes we've ever done.
Yeah.
Just like knew the assignment, knew the thing, picked a great fucking game, great stories, great era, let it rip.
Keyshawn sees everything too, because after the show came up to me and says, "Your dad's still mad at me." I think my dad called into a talk radio once about Keyshawn's opinion on something. Don't know for a fact, but really bad. Keyshawn's like, "Your dad all right?"
I tried looking that up. I couldn't find anything.
I couldn't either.
Yeah.
Regardless, like, completely different person when you meet him. You understand him way more.
Seriously. He's one of those guys where you look at media and he's like in that like
But that's
diva-
his WWE
Yeah.
character.
even when he was playing like the diva wide receiver, but then you just learn like how much Parcells respected him and they had the thing, you know, that he's a fucking grinder.
He's a grinder. At blocking, he emphasized that. You know, the hustle play in the game. That was a fun interview to get to know Keyshawn, because yeah, we all know what Keyshawn is on TV, but he ain't really like that, I guess. But he is, but he's not. But you understand why.
Yeah, completely. And it was really cool from me and Jack's perspective to see like you guys are like long lost cousins, like having played in the same offense.
Full same offense.
Yeah.
Going in, talking about the Charlie Weiss system and how it evolved when, you know, McDaniels got it to Billy O. Then, you know, when he left, like we were speaking the same languages. It's fun, but we changed a lot of the language the older I got. So
Yeah.
it you know,
Evolves.
that's like the old, like he was talking OPEC and shit. That was like when I first got there in like 9. Then we never used OPEC after like 5 years again.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for the Chill Zone, brought to you by Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN. Celebrate responsibly.
I tried to harmonize with you on that. So for this week's Chill Zone, trying out a new segment. A couple episodes ago, you talked in depth recently about what it's like to just in the weeds, nitty gritty, beat by beat details of what it's like traveling for an NFL away game. So a lot of people have been in the comments. They really like that. A lot of positive feedback about that. So we're trying a new segment where I just want you to go super deep into a specific NFL insider conversation. So a lot of the comments have been suggesting, you talked about Brock Purdy, just signing that big deal. Just people want to know a little bit more information in depth about what contracts are like in the NFL and what contract negotiations going. So high level, give us what contract negotiations are like in the NFL.
Well, contract negotiations in the NFL and contract negotiations I had with the New England Patriots are completely different as I look at it. And they've also changed, which rightfully they should. It's been way more player friendly. I've never I can remember when I got hurt in 2012, the Patriots offered me a contract before the season to sign that I thought that's not and I won the starting job going into that year. They were trying to lock me in for some league minimum deal with a week signing bonus, which I was like, I would rather go to free agency. So we played out the year. And I broke my foot, and then I broke my hand. I missed a couple games. I balled out. I had three games where I was balling, and then I broke my foot, and so it got to a sudden halt. So I remember going back after that, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, at least I'm gonna get that shitty little contract they offered me, which it'll still be a pay raise, And, I remember going back to the negotiations, and they said, that's how we felt then. This is how we feel now. And it was a completely different number with a lot less money because I was hurt, which I understood that. Nowadays, guys tear their ACLs, and they're getting paid the biggest contract in the history of the game, which that was never like that, at least where I was at. They would always say, I remember just vividly, when you're negotiating with them, they're saying, we're not paying you for what you've done. We're paying you for what we project you to do, and that's where the differences are in different organizations. I wish it was different. I wish I got it other way, like other guys, but with the Brock Purdy contract,
when renegotiation starts, if you start performing outside of your what they're paying you for paying you to project, and you start performing outside of that, what does that look like from a renegotiation standpoint?
Well, it usually, every time I signed a contract, I balled out the first, I feel like I outplayed that contract that year. But I'd have 3 years, we never went back to the table until the last year of your deal. Now it's changed a little bit because of, guys want to lock guys in before the market gets too high, this, that, the other. And guys try to, teams and guys want security. And so sometimes you see guys getting renegotiated with 2-3 years. They'll rip up a contract. That wasn't really, I wasn't a guy that ever dealt with that. With Brock Purdy being a 7th round draft pick, that's something also that I think is a key figure in this deal. I always felt if I was a 3rd or a 2nd round draft pick and I had the same production after my first or my second contract, that I would have got more money. I think, Brock kind of surpassed that. Yeah, he took a little less. What is it, 53?
53 for 5.
But what is it? What's his guaranteed?
Well, that's
money.
something I wanted to ask you about too, is what's the difference between guaranteed and total contract value?
So we'll see his guaranteed money. 180, it's 6 year, 5 years, including
5
this.
5-year, 265 contract extension.
And how many years does he have on his deal still? This one, so he has 1 year.
So this will go through 2020 or 2030, and he's got $181 million in guarantee with a full no trade clause. Has been reported.
So $181 million over the 6 years. So what's 180 divided into 4?
It's 45.25.
So that's what that is. He's really, of real money, that's how I used to look at it. It's 181 divided by either, whatever that number is, a couple years shorter than the contract, because that's kind of like they're out, which that's pretty cheap if you think about it. Now he'll have opportunity to earn more money.
So what is that? That's like incentives?
So that could be built-in escalators, meaning he has to, I had a built-in escalator in my contract where I would make $1 million more or 500 grand more if I had at that time, my high was 105 catches. So if I got to like 90 catches, 1,000 yards, and either 6 touchdowns, like I had to get 3 of that. And then, or we went to the Super Bowl, so I could have 3 of those and I would get that money. There's incentives. So like that's also like incentives and escalators are kind of in the same boat. I don't know the actual differences. I'm not a cap guy, but same thing. Like if you have like for Brock Purdy, if you play a certain amount of percentage of the year, you'll get an extra $5 million. But a lot of this, what people don't realize, these roster bonuses that are they used to give us roster bonuses.
So what is that?
So the roster bonus is actually in the guaranteed money. So they'll say, here's your roster bonus of, for me, I think it was like $1.5 million or something. I don't know my numbers. You guys will probably be able to look that up. But I had a roster bonus. That goes into your guaranteed money, but it ain't guaranteed. You have to be on the active day roster to get that money. So whatever that was, so say it's $1 million, divide that by 17. How many is that?
Let's just say it's 1.7.
1.7.
So 100K.
You get 100K a game, but say I got hurt and I didn't play in 3 games, I wouldn't collect those 3 checks.
And that comes out of guaranteed money.
That comes out of your guaranteed money. So you got to look into like what his guaranteed money is. There's a lot of ways of, also the guaranteed money could be like you have to be workout bonuses.
And what's a workout bonus?
Workout bonuses, you have to be at 80% of the off-season program in order to collect that money. It kind of incentivizes guys to stay around the team.
So that's the non-mandatory workouts.
Non-mandatory, you have to hit 80%.
Okay, cool. Okay, interesting. So it is kind of mandatory if you want to hit a certain amount of threshold for your money.
Well, if you want to make your money.
Okay.
There's also like, and then also like for linemen or big defensive linemen, like their weight could be, negotiated in as a incentive. If this, or, if he breaks over this, they could technically take that money away. So there's a bunch of stuff in that guaranteed money, which isn't always guaranteed. So Brock Purdy, I'm sure it went down where he outplayed his contract as a 7th rounder, the first few years. So it was a tough situation to be in because he still had a bunch of years on his deal and you still wanted to see if it would be able, to continue doing it.
Yeah.
But he got paid. I mean, he didn't get the 60. He got a 5 there. That's what everyone thinks. But really, if you think about it, it's like 4-year 45.
Why only 4 versus 5?
Because you could divide it. It's more of like, what is that? What is 181 divided by 5?
It's 36.2.
I don't know why. I'd always just take off those 2 years, and that's usually kind of how I thought about it.
Because the last years are kind of bullshit years. Either going to get restructured,
you're
renegotiated,
going into those,
or cut, depending on your situation.
Yeah, depending. And I don't know all his incentives for that extra. What is it? 260. The total contract?
Yeah, 265.
So 265. So what's
Minus
the
81,
difference between?
It's 84 million.
84 million.
Yeah.
So
that's in all the incentives, roster bonuses, what have you. Escalators.
That could be incentives. That could be roster bonus. I haven't looked at the details of the contract.
I don't think they're fully out yet either.
That could be anything from like, hey, they could negotiate if he gets MVP, he could get a $5 million bonus.
Pro Bowls, MVPs,
Pro Bowl.
All Pros.
You get
statistical hits.
Yeah, anything statistical, and those stats can go crazy. It could be playing time. It could be completion percentage. It could be touchdowns. I mean, whatever you want to negotiate or they want to negotiate, it's just a way for you to try to collect more of that money.
Have you ever heard any like weird incentives? Something that like stuck out, I was like, oh, that was unusual or very specific to a certain player?
The weight ones are always kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
But it's, these big boys during the season.
Now, would there be players that maybe are, and I know that you're not like a GM and you're not in the cap, but just from what you've seen and heard or experienced, players that maybe would have been injury prone or perceived to be injury prone, having higher like roster bonuses?
Well, that's what the Patriots used to do a lot of. And then also what they can do is they could put a split in your contract.
What is that?
It was always in all the Patriots rookie deals where it was like non-negotiable. Split is if you get hurt, you only make half your salary.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So separate from even roster bonus, separate from everything. If you tear your ACL in the first snap of preseason.
Well, not your guarantee money, but like all your other money,
Yeah.
you only get half. They split it.
That's just non-negotiable inside of every single.
Well, it's negotiable in the contract, but
Yeah.
it was not negotiable for us.
Gotcha. And something that I think has a lot of people ask a lot of questions about, but how does signing bonus work?
So signing bonus, whatever, it could be divided. So that say Brock got a what was his signing, but maybe $50 million. Say
176 million injury guarantee.
See, 170 over his first 4.
He receives 62% of his money in the first 3 years.
So see how I said 4 years?
Yeah.
So 170 over his first 4. That means there's only an additional $9-10 million for that next. So you would cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and part of that's playing games with the cap too.
Probably. I'm not a cap guy.
Yeah,
but yeah, usually they divide the signing bonus by. That's why they'll make big signing bonuses, because they can prorate that and divide that over the length of your contract.
Okay.
Towards the cap.
Okay. Salary cap. Signing bonuses go against cap too.
Yeah, it's less. It's like less. That's how they can make the money down. That's why they'll renegotiate and give guys a bunch of money in the signing bonus, because then you can prorate it throughout the duration of the contract.
Okay, and then from
but let's go back to we were talking about signing bonus.
Yeah,
signing bonus. It's not like depending on team.
Okay,
say it's Brock Purdy's $50 million sign, they could divide that over 3 for the owner. You know, say so on signing day they'll give him $20 million. And then in October, they can give them $10 million. And then the next following year, they can give them another 10. Now, you do that for tax reasonings. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the owner can do that, because sometimes they just don't want to give you all that money right away.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
With. And then so functionally, you sign a contract, you get your prorated signing bonus. Maybe it's half or a third or whatever. Is that just a check, or is that like going into your like pay system? How does that actually?
So a lot of guys have direct deposit. We didn't actually have that choice until like the 3rd or 4th year of my year.
Really?
Or my second year.
Well, you just get a check, you have to cash it?
You get a check that you'd have to cash. And which is, if guys didn't cash a check, that means the owners kept that money in that pot and they could earn interest on that bitch.
Yeah.
So that's why you go to direct deposit, you get that money right away.
So you're like rolling up your rookie year, rolling up with a check.
The crazy thing is, out of that $20 million that he's going to get, you're going to get that check and it's only going to be about 12, 11.
Taxes and all that shit.
And then you got to pay the agent, whatever his agent fee is, usually 3, can be negotiated down, but it's usually 3%. So, it's a lot.
So that's how you get the signing bonus. All this other stuff, roster bonus.
That's all divided.
Incentives.
So then there could be other stuff. You have a roster bonus. That's another way of them to giving you $1 million, during the season, or guaranteed $2 million, $5 million, 10, whatever that is. They can give you through the season. Then they can give you the workout bonus, which is also guaranteed money in the guaranteed money thing. But that also, incentivizes you to be around the facility. You got to be at the off season, all that stuff.
So then what's in the game check?
Game check is the additional salary that you have divided into set 18 weeks, and you get paid every first 15th.
And you don't get any additional money for playoffs, right?
You do get additional money, but it's technically we're getting blown out.
Yeah.
As players, because we're playing for less.
Everyone gets paid the same amount.
So now you get an additional. So like when I was playing, you for the first round, you would get an additional like 20 grand, 25 grand to the winner, 20 grand to the loser. And the next round you could get like an additional 30 grand. But then like we would get the first round bye, have to do all the same amount of work and not get paid.
Because the bye, you don't get paid for the bye.
You don't get paid during the bye. You only get paid during the game.
Wow.
And it was really 20 grand. And at that time I was making like 100 grand a game through my contract. So you're putting in the same amount of work for way less money. And the league is benefiting crazy through the playoffs with the ratings and everything.
So how much like total?
So like
you making?
at the total you make, if you won the Super Bowl, it'd be like 180 grand.
And that's if you don't have any of the escalators, any of the
No, that's
bonuses.
just all new money coming from the league.
The 53rd man on the roster makes that money if you go to the Super Bowl.
The 53rd and maybe I think even the practice squad, everyone in everyone in the organization does, I think.
So making a Super Bowl.
It's a big thing for like the trainers and the coaches. It's huge. It's great. But like on the scale of like
The top dogs are taking huge pay cuts to play.
Tom
in the
Brady
playoffs.
usually gets $2 million a fucking game.
Yeah,
He's working, wherever it is. You know what I mean?
he's getting paid
Patrick
the same
Mahomes
as
get $50 million a year.
They're getting paid.
Now he's gonna go play for 20 grand, 30. It's probably like 50 grand now.
Yeah,
But
they're getting paid the same as the long snapper, as the quarterback.
same as the long snapper, which it's additional money. You never want to be. You want to be thankful, but the work you put in. If we're talking workplace here, I mean, the stress levels are even higher.
Right.
The work is you're putting in way more work during the playoffs because you're just that much more invested, like time, everything.
It's heightened more.
Emotion.
And the cost for commercials go way up too. A lot more money being
Everything.
generated.
A lot of money generated. But, congratulations to Brock, man. That's cool seeing a 7th round guy get a big payday, regardless of what you think he deserves or doesn't. As a former player, you always like seeing guys get paid, especially a guy that went his route, which, I was a 7th round guy. He's a 7th round guy. Now he's making $54 million a year.
Not bad.
And,
Not bad for Mr. Relevant.
Not even a 1-star, not a 0-star, first pick overall. I'm a story guy. Like the story. Now, is the team going to be good? Don't know. But if you think about it, for the Niners, they'll have to eat a bunch of this for these next couple years, which they're kind of rebuilding right now. And if you look at Brock's contract in 2 years, it's going to be cheap. It's kind of like the Daniel Jones shit. Like everyone's like, Daniel's making $30 million. What the heck? Well, all right. In 2 years, the next guy was making 50.
Yeah. The lessons learned, if there's ever a guy who needs to get paid real money, pay him as soon as you can, because it instantly becomes value.
He didn't take the top dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you think about Brock Purdy, if you put yourself in his position, you're sitting there saying like, well, Dak Prescott, he's got one playoff win, maybe 2, I think. I've taken a team to an AFC championship. We've gone to a Super Bowl. We have playoff wins, and that's what you really judge on the quarterback. How many wins he got? So you could see what his side was arguing to get that money. And
2 wins.
Yeah, he got 2. You could say the same thing for all the other big dog quarterbacks. I think he's got more playoff wins than Burrow.
Burrow did go to a Super Bowl.
So did Brock.
Still, yeah, right. You're right.
Brock went to the Super Bowl.
You're right.
And Brock also went to an AFC or NFC championship where he hurt his arm. Remember?
Yeah.
So like Brock's got some merit when you're talking about winning games. Now, regardless of what you want to say, how the team's going to be.
Now, do you think if Purdy was a 1st-round pick, or
completely different,
he gets that?
If
break
Purdy was a 1st-round pick, he probably would have got $68 million.
Yeah. He's one of those contracts that sets the new standard for quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing on this, because I thought this was great. One time years ago, I was at your house back in Foxborough, and you were like going through some like junk mail, and you just opened up like a check for like a couple $100,000 or something. I think it was from jerseys. What are some of the other ways that you get paid that aren't like endorsement deals?
There's player performance, which is huge for guys that get like Brock, like set late round guys, undrafted guys, which they've changed it in this new CBA collective bargaining agreement. But when I was there, if you were a 7th round guy, you were getting more playing, there was like a formula on playing time and plays per game that you would make a lot more money than if you were a 1st round guy in this pool of money.
That's coming from like the NFLPA?
Yeah, coming from the NFL. I forgot where it comes from. We got to probably hit up Matthew Slater on that because he's the former rep for the PA. There was a pool of money that they would have, and it was a way to give guys that, 7th round guy that was playing 80% of the snaps. He could take, I remember like Devon Bess, when he was a receiver, he was making like $2-3 million off that player performance because he was undrafted and he was balling out.
And it's upwards of a few million?
If you play a lot.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what it is now, but those were back when I was playing. I think it changed a little. That was like a fund of something where they were pulling money in and they would distribute to the players. There's also other ways of earning money.
Jersey sales. Like, so when you sign up for the PA, you're basically signing and giving away your name and likeness. Yeah.
For the brand of players. So with that, you get a check. Everyone gets a check for like 10 grand for being in Madden or whatever it was at that time, or 5 grand. And then anything that's sold with your name on, you get a percentage of. So like that was after, I had a huge jersey sale year. They always give you like whatever it is, the cents on the dollar that you get for it could be like a half a cent. But, you collect money, mugs, whatever they have.
With your name on
jerseys, this jersey, anything with your name that has sold, you do get a cut of a baby sliver of that.
And that's all through the NFLPA.
And I still get checks for that. I'll get like 8-cent checks because like so there was like 100 something of mine or like something sold.
Hell yeah.
I'll get like an 8-cent check from the PA.
That's awesome. It's like the actors getting residual checks. That's awesome. Cool. Is there any other things we missed from just like things the average fan wouldn't know where money is coming in from a contract perspective?
I mean, there's probably more, but why don't you guys ask us more questions, detailed questions in the comment section, and we can get into it more.
Hell yeah.
I'm not like just fucking brainiac smart, where I could just, oh yeah, back in that day, I remember this, that. Like, who we should have? We should bring in Matthew Slater and do like a rules and regulation podcast for the NFL.
I love that.
Let's do rules, because Bill used to sit us down like every year in training camp, the first night of training camp, we go over all the rules.
Nothing that you can light on fire in team hotels.
If anything lights on fire in the team hotel, it could be conduct detrimental. It was basically explaining all the rules that could take away your money. If you're fat and overweight, you'd be like, it's 600 pounds per day.
Per pound per day or whatever.
Per pound per day. Whatever. It's probably like $1,000 now. It used to be when I first got it, like 380. Then it got up to like 600. You know what I mean? The more money you make, the more they can take. They can take your money through fines on, uniform infringement. I used to get fined all the time if my knee pads were higher and my skin was showing and my socks didn't go up. You would get fined for that, or certain pads you could get if you didn't have your thigh pads. When I first played, you didn't have to have thigh or knee pads.
Yeah,
and they put that in where you get fined if you didn't have that. I didn't wear them for like my first 2 years. You can get fined for the length of your towel. You can get fined for other like non-NFL issued attire on the sideline. Technically, you can get fined. So if you're like promoting like your own brand that's not associated with the NFL, you could get fined. Like certain celebrations, fine.
Well, we should save that for another one of these segments.
Fine day.
A fine one of these segments would be great. I think it's a great segue too to be like, hey, fans, audience, comment what detailed types of explanation of inside NFL information would you like, because this is a fun segment. I think it's
so.
Cool.
When I scored that touchdown to break the record for the Patriots over total punt returns, I threw the ball into the crowd. I hucked it up in there, and I got fined like hella money because you're not allowed to throw the ball in the crowd because it could create a riot. But if you hand the ball, it's okay. You can't.
You can
throw
hand
the ball,
but you can't
can hand
throw?
the ball, but you can't throw the ball.
But will they charge you for the cost of the Duke if you hand them the ball?
No. Well, yeah, you have to pay for the Duke anytime you take the Duke. I think that's payroll deduct. So like everything is payroll deduct. Nothing is free, by the way.
Did you have to pay for these balls?
Those tickets, payroll deduct. If you broke something if you broke the weight room, payroll deduct. If you broke something, payroll deduct. They take that money as much as they give it.
Did you giving the jerseys away? You get paid for that. Did you have to pay for these?
Anytime
balls?
you give jersey swap, you're paying like $400, $350, $250 for that.
What about like a sentimental ball, like a touchdown that you keep? Do they give you that?
I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's payroll deduct.
Now, is that just your organization, or was that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll have to ask that when we have some other people.
Yeah, but I threw it up in the crowd. I remember I used to have to go to these hearings, and Merton Hanks was always the fucking fine hearing, and I used to try to butter him up every single time. Came and talked to me in high school. I loved his little neck thing he used to do, right? He's a fucking San Francisco 49er. I'd always butter him up every time. He would never fucking reduce my money. I think he reduced it once. my agent, we got that one reduced because it was like military service day. And my agent Dubes is like, Julian was really throwing it to a Navy guy that he saw. And it's like literally like 200 yards up.
Well, they saw your college tape, so.
They knew it wasn't going there. But we did get that reduced. So thank you, Mr. Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that was a great segment. We'll do that more. That was awesome.
That was fun. And that's the Chill Zone. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN and celebrate responsibly. Well, what a game. What a segment. Thanks again to Keyshawn. That's another episode of Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment a game you want us to do. And remember,
rate and review.
Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify while you're there. Remember to follow Games with Names on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Snapchat. TikTok still there?
Yeah.
We're good? Someone buying it?
Who knows? All
right. Well, leave a comment on the YouTube full episode. We'll read the best comments in the future episodes. Leave a message on the old hotline. That number is 424-291-2290. And we'll see you guys next week. Games with Names, a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.